The Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network is proud to present Old Dominion Athletic Conference baseball from Fox Field on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. Hello again, baseball fans, Hornets fans, and Hampden-Syndey fans, everybody else in between. Welcome to a sunny Tuesday in late April here at Fox Field. We are getting set for a key ODAC matchup between the Hampden-Syndey Tigers and the Lynchburg Hornets. Tigers come in at 14-17 this season. They're 8-11 in conference, but they're playing pretty good baseball lately. They've won 3 in a row. Hampden-Syndey has won 6 out of their last 9 conference matchups. So they seem to be playing good baseball here as our season starts coming to a close. Just 3 ODAC games left, including today for these two ball clubs. Lynchburg is 22-13 this year, following the national championship last season. Hornets are 11-8 in conference. They have won 4 of their last 6. Most recently, it was a split here at Fox Field against Shenandoah on Saturday. Lynchburg loses game 1, 7-4. They scored 4 runs in the 8th inning, and I think that was a little bit of foreshadowing for game 2. It seemed to give the Hornets hitters some confidence, even though Lynchburg only puts up 3 runs in game 2. They get the win against Shenandoah, so a split there. Lynchburg currently in the ODAC standings, still in that log jam for third, still tied for third. Randolph-Macon is first in the conference. You've got Roanoke second at 13-6. And then you have 4 teams that are tied for third right now. It's Bridgewater, Shenandoah, Lynchburg. 3 teams tied for third. They're all knotted up at 11-8 currently. Virginia Wesleyan next at 10-9. They're tied with Guilford at 10-9. And then you get down to Hampden-Syndey, 8-11, currently in 9th place. Washington and Lee is in 8th place right now at 9-8. So Hampden-Syndey, they need some wins here today and this weekend to get in the ODAC tournament. That opening weekend of ODAC tournament play features the top 8, 1 hosting 8, 2 hosting 7, so on and so forth. So the Tigers would like to get in. If you get in, you have a chance, but you got to get in if you're Hampden-Syndey. For Lynchburg, their spot in the top 8 is probably not mathematically secure, but on paper anyway, it looks like they're pretty much a lock to stay in that top 8 there. And, of course, that all depends on today's activity. And then for Lynchburg, they head to Guilford this Saturday for the final games of the ODAC regular season. Lynchburg will actually have a non-conference game against CNU a week from today. Hampden-Syndey, their schedule looks like this, hosting William Peace Thursday. Then they've got a senior day doubleheader at home against Bridgewater on Saturday. So there's a lot going on. We threw a lot of information at you early, and we'll recap some of that. We'll have a clearer picture of what those ODAC standings are after today's ball game. It is Lynchburg hosting Hampden-Syndey. We've got the reigning ODAC Player of the Week, Jake Moore, in the lineup for Hampden-Syndey. We've got a good one on the bump for Lynchburg. It's freshman Colin McGuire and so many other great players and talents to talk about here today. It is a very nice day at the ballpark, and we are glad you are watching it on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. First pitch between Lynchburg and Hampden-Syndey coming up in just a moment on LHSN.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Every great college has a great city. For Lynchburg, we are near urban areas with lots of restaurants, shopping, and events. Plus, we are one of the top schools in the area. Come see for yourself.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
right, here we go. National anthem is done. Home plate conference with the umpires and head coach is done, and we're about ready for the first pitch. It will be freshman Colin McGuire on the mound for Lynchburg. He comes into the ball game with a 2-1 record, also has 3 saves. This will be start number 6. The ERA is really good at 3.67. He's pitched just over 34 innings this season, and for a freshman, he has really impressed. Maybe we should just be saying for any age group, he has really impressed. Colin McGuire on the mound. The battery mate will be Sean Pokerock. Around the infield at first base, you've got Eric Hyatt, Ben Jones at second, high school teammate Brandon Garcia at short. Gavin Collins is playing third. In the outfield, left to right, Logan Webster, O'Kelly McWilliams the fourth, and Quinn Madden. Defensive configuration we have become accustomed to here at Lynchburg. First pitch is a strike, and we are underway on Lakeside Drive. Hornets in the home red. It is a code red day. We'll discuss that a bit more. Got the white pants. Hampden-Syndey also white pants, but they have their dark gray top on to go with the burgundy and white trim. The leadoff hitter is Grayson Harris. The rest of the lineup goes like this. Reigning ODAC Player of the Week, Jake Moore, is on deck. His high school teammate, Matthew Arnold, will follow him up. Third member of the same high school, Chatham High School, Christian Lancaster, will hit cleanup for Hampden-Syndey today. Then you've got Greer, Farr, Jackson Masterson, Tillman Butler, Jace Howell, and Jack Wilson rounds out the starting 9 for Hampden-Syndey. Swing and a miss from Grayson Harris, and there's our first out of the ball game. It is a strikeout from Colin McGuire. He's got strikeout stuff. The velocity is there. He's got a great breaking ball. He's learning how to pitch at the college level. And again, for a first year, really, really impressive. Here's the left-handed swinging freshman Jake Moore from Chatham High School. Dry Fork, Virginia is the hometown, but Chatham High School, just like the next two guys in the lineup, Matt Arnold and Christian Lancaster. Pretty unique thing, I think probably at any collegiate level to have 3 straight in the lineup from the same high school. We always find it noteworthy that Lynchburg, has Brandon Garcia and Ben Jones, the high school tag team up the middle there at short and second. But this is something similar and perhaps a step beyond. 1-1 count. Moore will slash at that one and foul it away. He's in right field today. Has not really been an everyday starter for Hampden-Syndey, Jake Moore, but with the week he had last week, it's probably going to be tough to get out of the lineup now. This will be start number 16 for Hampden-Syndey. Believe this is game 32 for them. Moore lines one at Ben Jones. Nice job to move to the glove side and field that on one hop. Snazzy play there from Ben Jones. Jake Moore is retired. We'll have to talk about his numbers from last week the next time he comes up. And here is Matthew Arnold, sophomore third baseman from Danville, Virginia. Comes into the games the second leading average man amongst full-timers for the Tigers. 337 and 24 starts. Got 9 doubles in there as well. Breaking ball is ball 1 from Colin McGuire. Matthew Arnold played quite a bit his freshman year 2 years ago, and then had an off-the-field health issue that kept him out of the uniform last season, but he's back. He's swinging at the second pitch he sees and roping it into left field. First base hit for Hampden-Syndey comes with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Kyle Haney broadcasting live on LHSN. Our team today is A+. We've got a good crowd at the ballpark. Plenty of Hampden-Syndey fans made the trip. It's a lineup with quite a few from the Commonwealth, much like most of the teams in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. But it's always fun to look at the hometowns and the high schools. High school teammate Christian Lancaster will swing at the first, bounce it to a leaping Eric Hyatt, who makes the grab. And it's a pretty quiet inning other than the Matthew Arnold single. Lynchburg will come to bat in the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 ball game. We are underway at Fox Field. One hit, one left on for the Tigers in their half of the first, and we move to the bottom with Lynchburg sending the leadoff man, Brandon Garcia. The shortstop is a two-time Old Dominion Athletic Conference Player of the Week. He'll be followed up by the high school teammate Ben Jones. Quinn Madden, junior transfer, hits third. Eric Hyatt cleaning up. The catcher, Sean Pokerock, bats fifth. Senior Gavin Collins in his usual sixth spot. The freshman designated hitter is Joe Munitz, hitting seventh. Logan Webster, the left fielder, eighth, and O'Kelly McWilliams, the fourth, will round out the batting order for Lynchburg. They are 22-13 on the season. They've won 4 of their last 6. It's 5-5 in the last 10 for Lynchburg. And with the high standard of being the defending national champ, anytime you lose, it's going to get some attention and some eyeballs. But overall, I think still a very successful season for Lynchburg. And they are setting themselves up for some possible fireworks in the postseason again. Got to get there first. Lynchburg actually plays tomorrow. It'll be a non-conference home game here at Fox against Mary Washington. 3:30 first pitch. We hope you can join us at the ballpark or on LHSN. And then Saturday, a trip down to Greensboro to take on the Guilford Quakers. That'll round out conference play. And then one final home game, one final regular season game as well for Lynchburg comes 1 week from today, hosting the Christopher Newport Captains. Starter for Hampden-Syndey on the bump, sophomore from Petersburg, Virginia, Sterling Austin. We'll get you a rundown on Austin's numbers. Third baseman Arnold is playing in, guarding against the base hit bunt. Garcia slashes at the first one, flies it out to left field, and it's 1 pitch, 1 out for Sterling Austin on the season. Austin is 2-3. This is start number 9. He does have one complete game in there. 51 innings exactly coming into today. He struck out 29, walked just 17. Earned run average 4.76, and batters hitting .289 against Sterling Austin. He's already gotten one quick out. First pitch coming up to the sophomore Ben Jones. Benny Bombs will watch a fastball go low and away for ball 1. Ben Jones had a triple against Shenandoah. Lynchburg, as a team, was 20 of 67. That's just south of 300 as a team against the Shenandoah Hornets this weekend. Nice rip there from Ben Jones. Man, he stayed on that outside pitch. This is to the fence. This is extra bases for Benny Bombs. Thought about taking the turn to go to third, but a pretty good tandem relay there by the Tigers will force Ben Jones to put the brakes on. But it is a stand-up double for Ben Jones. It tells you something about his power, doesn't it? That was a ball that was basically head high going by the shortstop. But because of the positioning of the center fielder shading the right center gap, it's hard for him to get over there and cut that ball off. It was a long run for the left fielder, Christian Lancaster, and Ben Jones ends up really just hitting a laser line drive all the way to the backside gap. Not exactly how you think about doubles, but that's exactly what it is in the scorebook. Quentin Madden got the bat off his shoulder but did not offer at a first pitch breaking ball. And now it's a 1-0 count. Quinn Madden was just one of the hottest hitters on the planet for a while. He's got 16 multi-hit games this season, 8 2-hit games and 8 3-hit games. Hasn't homered in a while, though. Quinn Madden is the team leader in home runs for Lynchburg at 7. But I think it's just 1 in the last 13 games now for Quinn Madden. So he would like to rectify that. Good wheels at second with Ben Jones. You feel like any base hit probably gets him in. Any base hit into the outfield grass anyway. Don't count those infield singles. 1-1 count. Sterling Austin holds at the belly button, now delivers. Madden wanted a breaking ball, fouled it straight behind us, and now the count is 1-2. Eric Hyatt waits on deck. This is a rematch, of course, second time through the order here in ODAC play. Hampden-Syndey won game 1, 3-2. Austin started that game. Colin McGuire started that game for Lynchburg. So it's a repeat of the pitching matchup. And obviously in a 3-2 ball game, that tells you Sterling Austin was pretty good that day. Matt Arnold and then Grayson Harris had 3 hits for Hampden-Syndey in that win. Nathaniel Mack actually took the loss in that ball game for Lynchburg. We might see the mighty Mack later on in this one out of the bullpen. 1-2 count right here to Madden. Fouls another one off. Pretty good long at bat here for Quinn Madden, checking with the umpire about the height of that pitch. Ben Jones leads off at second. Hampden-Syndey 8-11 in ODAC play, but they've won 6 out of their last 9 in conference. So playing better, competition, a part of that as always, but the Tigers have been getting it done with more regularity lately. Inside fastball that Madden dodges, and it's just ball 2. Count is even at 2-2. Hyatt on deck, Pokerock in the hole for Lynchburg. It's a potent Hornet lineup. Team average right now is .309. They've hit over 100 extra base hits as a team. Madden's not going to get one here, though, under this. Flares it to center. Jones will tag, probably going to bluff the run to third. He does just that, then retreats to second. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. And it brings up the junior Eric Hyatt on the season, hitting .311. 30 walks to 12 strikeouts. That's always the number I talk about for Eric Hyatt. He has elite plate discipline, an elite eye. Really good 2-strike hitter. He's one of those guys that seems to almost hit better with 2 strikes. And he's certainly not afraid to be picky early in the count about getting his pitch. He will make a pitcher work. Some of those low strikeout guys have those numbers because they just swing at the first and second pitch all the time. They don't ever let it get to a 2-strike count. That is not the case with Eric Hyatt. He hits in a lot of 2-strike counts. 0-1 right now, he's behind as Austin spins a breaking ball in there with 2 outs to start the at-bat. Hyatt swings at the second one. Textbook ground ball to the second baseman, Jace Howell. Out is recorded. Both teams get a runner on in the first inning, but they can't get any in. It's a 0-0 game through 1 complete between Hampden-Syndey and Lynchburg.
Look what you're missing. It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go crazy.
Sixth double of the season for Ben Jones, but he can get no further than the second sack there as Lynchburg strands 1 in scoring position. It's a 0-0 ball game, a fast-moving first inning despite a hit from each squad. Yeah, Ben Jones, really, you just look at his stats. He's incredible. We'll get back to him when he comes up again. This is Greer Farr, a sophomore designated hitter for Hampden-Syndey. He's hacking at the first pitch and coming up empty. It's an 0-1 count. Jackson Masterson on deck. Tillman Butler, the catcher, in the hole for the Tigers. Their head coach, Jeff Kinney, I think he's in his 21st season. Yeah, over 400 wins for Kinney. They had the memorable World Series appearance in 2005. That was a postseason run where Hampden-Syndey, I think they went in to the ODAC tournament as the 4 or 5. They may have even been the 6th seed. Got to research that. Long run down the line on a foul ball that will land on the roof of Lynchburg's batting cage. But that 05 Hampden-Syndey Tiger team, they clicked at the right time. And it just goes to show you in a tournament sport, which baseball is, sometimes the regular season is not exactly meaningless, but doesn't mean as much as maybe it should with all the games you play. You get 40 regular season games you can play at the D3 level. And a lot of times that goes out the window. Sean Pokerock did catch a breaking ball, and it is strike 3. Second punch out for Colin McGuire. Farr made it halfway down to first base, and the umpire kind of gave a delayed catch signal there. It was a ball that was low, but Pokerock came up and confidently fired to third to throw it around. There's an inside fastball from Colin McGuire. McGuire does use both sides of the plate so effectively. And then he spins the breaking ball on you. Does have the changeup. When he's going at his best, I think it does just kind of become fastball slider for Colin McGuire. The shape might be more like one of those slurves. But either way, it's a good pitch. There it was right there. Missed the zone. Now it's a 2-1 count on Jackson Masterson, sophomore from Raleigh, playing a very good shortstop this season for the Tigers, hitting .313 on the year. Start number 29. He'll bounce one to his counterpart, Brandon Garcia. Fields belt high. Throw was up the line. Hyatt came off and tried to apply the tag, but either missed or Masterson had touched the bag in time. He's aboard. We'll wait and see if it's a hit or an error. We may even get another look at it, perhaps. It was bang, bang down the line there at first. Thought Hyatt did nicely to field the up-the-line throw and try to swipe tag. But Masterson is on with one out in the top of the second inning. This is the catcher, Tillman Butler. McGuire will throw and keep an eye on Masterson. Running game for both these teams, pretty important. Hampden-Syndey, 63 stolen bases on the year. They're getting them at a 78% clip. Lynchburg, more stolen bases and at a higher percentage. 77 on the season for the Hornets. 82% success rate in the running game. Lynchburg scores over 9 runs per game. Hampden-Syndey, 7.26. This ball's belted in the left center gap. Butler jumped all over that first pitch. Webster on the move will cut it off and keep Butler at first. Masterson able to go first to third, though. Good base running there, but I would argue pretty good defensive work to get to that ball and sling it in before Butler could turn the corner and get to second. It is runners at first and third now for the Hampden-Syndey Tigers. That was a good swing from Butler. He was right on that. Multiple first pitch swings this first time through the lineup. And that makes sense because McGuire, again, did start the first game between these two squads. So in addition to any other scouting you've done, you would just know from memory what McGuire has, and that really helps. Obviously, it's been a few weeks since these teams have played. But it looks like Shenandoah seems to have a pretty good plan of attack. Trying to work a little first to third safety squeeze bunt maybe. Both corners were on the way in for Lynchburg as Jace Howell takes that one. It's ball 2, 2-0 count. Looks like Masterson's ball was officially ruled an error, so it's 2 hits now for Hampden-Syndey. 3 base runners total. McGuire will throw to first to keep an eye on Tillman Butler. The hitter is first-year Jace Howell, playing second base for this Tiger squad, wearing number 60, which is kind of fun. Not exactly a baseball number. Jace Howell is hitting .273 on the season. He has a homer and 1 double. 1 sacrifice bunt on the year, it looks like, for Howell. He's going to try it again. Drags it down the first base line. Great location. McGuire had to throw through Howell. It hit his back. It bounces softly into foul territory. Runners can't advance, but that's a bunt base hit and the first run of the ball game. Masterson comes in to score. It's a 1-0 Hampden-Syndey Tiger lead. Great job to use the short game there by Hampden-Syndey. Bunting game. I'll tell you, if you could put it down the first base line like that, that's a good play anytime. Runners on or not. It was excellent from Jace Howell. Perfect placement. I mean, even for a right-handed pitcher, you're falling off to that first base line. It's such a long run. Then you have to gather. and throw through the runner, as you saw right there. Howell not short on speed either. That's just textbook. And you can have your first baseman crash hard. If he can get to it and then tag the runner as he's going down, that's a good play. But even that can be difficult. There's one out. Don't know if it's a sacrifice or a base hit bunt attempt there from Jack Wilson, but he's got it out front. It's a 1-0 count as he pulls it back. McGuire, wouldn't really say he's struggling just yet, but on the ropes here in the top of the second inning as the Tigers have struck first. Umpires are going to ask McGuire to step off. Maybe could have just heard a little bit of the convo from our crowd mic. Hyatt is in on the grass at first. Gavin Collins is even with the bag, but on the dirt at third. Runners on first and second. Breaking ball in for a strike. Nice pitch from McGuire. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Leadoff hitter Grayson Harris waiting on deck. A good time for one of those patented Lynchburg double plays, wouldn't it? Say patented, they led the nation in that category last season. 51 double plays in 56 games last year. This year, the per-game rate is a little bit lower. 26 double plays turned for Lynchburg. Had a memorable triple play turned in Game 1 against Shenandoah Saturday. One that was too close to call, even upon replay. We couldn't tell exactly if the ball was caught in the air at the mound or not. Check swing, first base umpire says he offered, and that's another strikeout. Third punch out of the game for McGuire, second out of the inning. And it will be Grayson Harris hitting with runners on first and second, 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Grayson Harris, 4-11 on the season. He's got a homer, a triple, 7 doubles. Driven in 13. Batting in that leadoff spot. The RBIs might be slightly down. He scored 28 runs himself this year. Good speed at both bases here for Hampden-Syndey. McGuire, another breaking ball. This bounces away from Sean Pokerock. Runners will advance 90 feet. Now it's 2 in scoring position for the Tigers. Grayson Harris rides a 12-game hitting streak right now. He's got 17 multi-hit games this season. Sitting on a 1-1 count right now. Just a breaking ball in the dirt. Pokerock got the body to it, but the rebound took it way to the left outside the dirt circle. Harris will slash this one to the left side. Nice pick by Gavin Collins and a strong throw as well. Good job by Gavin Collins moving into the hole there. Glove side, snared what became a weird hop, and then rifled across the diamond to limit the damage. Tigers do score first. Hampden-Syndey leading 1-0 after 1.5 at Fox Field.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It's what the school's really good at doing.
Hampden-Syndey 1, Lynchburg 0. We've reached the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Sean Pokerock, the sophomore catcher, leading off for Lynchburg. Splitting time basically all season with Riley O'Donovan. Feels like we've seen Pokey more at home, and O'Donovan has caught more of the games on the road. That's kind of anecdotal. I don't have the stats to back that up. But O'Donovan does have more at-bats on the season. Sean Pokerock this year hits .267. He's walked 12 times and struck out just 8. Another guy in this Lynchburg lineup with more walks than strikeouts. For Pokey, this is start number 18. And just for reference, Riley O'Donovan has started 21 games this year. O'Donovan has DH'd a bit. It's an 0-2 count on Sean Pokerock, facing Sterling Austin. Bangs one into the dirt. He'll go retrieve the baseball himself and walk back to the bump with a 1-2 count. Gavin Collins, who just made a fine defensive play to end the inning, waits on deck. First-year man Joe Munitz, designated hitter, is in the hole for Lynchburg. This is 5, 6, 7 in the Hornet lineup. Tigers will have 2, 3, 4. That'll be the 3 Chatham Cavalier high school teammates coming up in succession for Hampden-Syndey when we get to the top of the third inning. Count is even now at 2-2. One knee down for the catcher, Tillman Butler. Pokerock swings on this one, sends it up the middle. Running grab by Masterson. That throw went to the outfield side of the first base bag, but a good job to hold on there and stay anchored by Grayson Harris. And that's a 6-3 put out for the first out of the bottom of the second. It's Gavin Collins now, a 4-year starter for this Lynchburg team. Gavin Collins, 175 career hits. 58 extra base hits in there. Really impressive. He'll watch a breaking ball come across for strike one. Gavin Collins has driven in 141 in his career. So far this year for Gavin Collins, kind of a half-hearted wave at that one for strike two. Gavin Collins has 36 hits this season. It was 52 last year, 49 in 2022. In his freshman year, he had 48 hits. So spread them out all pretty equally. And there's another snapper that just missed the plate from Sterling Austin. He took a long walk off the mound on that one. Don't know if he was into the K strut or maybe it was just the momentum carried him off. But it's a 1-2 count now. Same location it looks like. Gavin Collins, swing and miss. Punch out number 1 for Sterling Austin. And there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the second inning.
Now batting, number 9, Joe Munitz.
Joe Munitz, first-year sensation stepping in. 6-game hitting streak for Munitz. He's hit safely in 11 of his last 12. He's batting over .450 in his last 6 games. Joe Munitz really swinging it for this team. Early in the season, he was a sacrifice bunt specialist, a pinch hit specialist. So much more than that now, a fixture in the starting lineup basically in the last month, basically in the month of April. Joe Munitz has been in there. 0-1 count, and there you go. There's the reason why. Joe Munitz, just a sweet swing, that classic left-handed stroke. He's got some power in there, but he can just really bash baseballs to all fields. But you get him inside there, and he'll spin on that, pull it into right field. 2 hits for Lynchburg as a team. And here's Logan Webster batting with 2 outs and a runner on first. Munitz will be a threat to run. Joe Munitz on the season, 6 for 8 in the stolen base department. Lynchburg down 1. Logan Webster's really been on a tear lately, a hot streak. Been one of those guys that was sort of in that platoon mode early, playing every other game. Now Logan Webster, just like Joe Munitz, who's on first, pretty much a fixture in the starting lineup. 1-0 count for Logan Webster. Long hold there from Austin. Now he'll deliver. That's a fastball that's just above the belt line, but a strike. Count is even at 1-1. Logan Webster has reached in 22 straight games. I think 3 hits over the weekend in the 2 games against Shenandoah. Nice spin and throw from Sterling Austin. That scrambled Munitz back to first on a dive. Austin now set and ready to go again. 1-1 count. Webster waits. There's a good breaking ball. Nice action, but under the zone for ball 2. Tillman Butler didn't give that one the super long hold there that you see from a catcher. So Butler must have thought that one was a ball as well, like our umpire. Here's a fastball that's upstairs, but a strike. Those 2 pitches right there might be telling you a bit about our umpire zone. Each guy's different. This might be one of those higher zones. You're not getting that ball just below the knee, but maybe you are getting the pitch at the letters. Good pitchers will adjust. Hard hit ball by Logan Webster. 8 Masterson up, but then he's able to catch the carom with his glove, load and fire across to first base for the final out of the inning. Webster squared it up and right at the shortstop. Lynchburg 1 hit again. They strand 1, and the Hornets trail by 1 through 2 complete on LHSN.
My name is Brittany Coleman. I graduated in 2014, and I have a major in chemistry and a minor in secondary education. And I'm currently teaching chemistry and 7th grade science at a local combined school. Being able to have access to your professors pretty much anytime they're in their office is really helpful, especially in difficult science subjects. I love that I am able to teach a difficult subject to students who typically aren't going to perceive it as enjoyable. I'm able to present it in an interesting way because I was presented this information in an interesting way. It's nice for me to be able to mirror what it was that influenced me to be able to teach.
We're always having fun here in the LHSN press box. It's not the LHSN press box, though. It's the Daniel E. Wooldridge class of 59 press box. Is it class of 59? Need to look on the door. It is a beautiful press box. We have word that there could be improvements or perhaps even a brand new press box this offseason as Phase 1 construction at Fox Field set to begin in 2024. We had a great give day last week. So much fun with that. Got to chat with head coach Travis Beasley, Wesley Arrington, one of the stars for this team. And that interview is still available on the Lynchburg YouTube page and the other social media destinations. Back-to-back 4-3 ground outs for Jake Moore. And there's one quick out already here in the top of the 3rd inning. This brings up Matt Arnold, the 3rd baseman, singled in his first at bat against Colin McGuire. Matt Arnold from Chatham High School, one of the best to ever play there. Matt Arnold has multiple individual state championships in golf. And then his senior year, the baseball team won a state championship there under the direction of Chad Anderson, who was actually his golf coach as well. One of the all-time great coaches in VHSL history. Virginia High School League. There are some great coaches around the state of Virginia. It's fun talking about them every once in a while. Coach Anderson definitely in there. Breaking ball for a strike, low and away at the knees. As Arnold backs out, composes himself. McGuire gets the baseball back with a 2-2 count. Pitching from the windup. Low and away target from Sean Pokerock. McGuire got it there, but too low and away as it skips in, and the count is now full, 3-2. Arnold's high school teammate, Christian Lancaster, on deck. He's an interesting story because he didn't actually hit that much in high school. Wasn't a true PO, not a true pitcher only, but more of a pitcher, as Arnold will slap one to Brandon Garcia. Brandon Garcia does complete this throw for out number 2 of the inning. And it will bring up Christian Lancaster. Had some arm injuries and really just jumped into a starting role here at Hampden-Syndey. I think it was about halfway through his freshman year. Lancaster is now a junior. His brother played his college baseball at Avert University. 2 outs. Lancaster will try a base hit bunt and pop that foul. 0-1 count. Colin McGuire gets the baseball back. McGuire's been such a great story for Lynchburg this season. The freshman from Cross Junction, Virginia, just outside Winchester. Knew he was loaded with talent. You just never quite know how guys are going to match up and fit in. He was doing mostly relief work early in the year, but then started taking the ball in some of these ODAC midweek starts and has really taken off. Sky's the limit for Colin McGuire. Another breaking ball low. Feels like he's about 50-50 breaking ball and fastball right now. Not uncommon for McGuire to be that way. The fastball is lively. Another breaking ball in there. Lancaster can't keep that one between the lines, and the count is even at 2-2. But for McGuire, I think that'll be the next step for him, is to even develop the third and fourth pitches even more. Then all of a sudden, if you're pitching with that true 4-pitch mix and you can balance those out, then a guy like that becomes unhittable. McGuire is pumped on a fastball that caught the outer black right there. Lancaster could not pull the trigger, and it's out number 3 in the inning. Strikeout number 4 for Colin McGuire. Lynchburg looking to tie the game up or more in the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's a code red day at the ballpark, and we've got a good crowd in attendance. All the fans, the Lynchburg fans, encouraged to wear the red, although you can obviously show up to the game in anything you want, and it is one of those fun initiatives from the University of Lynchburg. Just a great thing about being on campus here on Lakeside Drive. Here's O'Kelly McWilliams IV. He'll show a bunt and take strike 1. IV batting 9th. Started the season hitting leadoff, hitting second some as well. O'Kelly McWilliams, about halfway through the year, he was the hits leader on this team. He's gone a little bit cold. He's the kind of guy, he is so talented, he can heat back up at any moment, and of course his speed is part of that as well. He really pressures the defense with his wheels. O'Kelly McWilliams is the stolen base leader for Lynchburg, patrolling center field successfully. And he's so much fun to watch when he gets going. Infield positioning becomes interesting when O'Kelly McWilliams is up there, because even if it's a 2-strike count, you almost have to have your infielders closer because of his elite speed. Watch it right here on a ground ball to the shortstop. Masterson handles and then unloads quickly to get O'Kelly McWilliams by half a step. Good job there by Masterson to know the game plan and the clock there. He's seen O'Kelly McWilliams before. And there's 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. It'll bring up Brandon Garcia for his 2nd at-bat of the ball game. BG, Hollywood's been on a 19 straight games. 19 consecutive. He's reached base at least 1 time. Multiple hit games this weekend against Shenandoah. 3 hits in his first game, 3 singles, and then he left the yard 1 time in game 2. Solo homer that proved to be the difference maker in Lynchburg's 3-2 win over Shenandoah. First career home run there for Brandon Garcia. 5 for 9 in the 2 games combined this weekend. He's hit safely in 17 of his last 19 games. Now, 0-2 count on Brandon Garcia. Holds the hands high, watches a fastball spin in the dirt for ball 1. Sterling Austin is really pounding the zone. Don't think there's been any 3-ball counts. That's what the discussion between me and the legendary Sam Rice was in between innings. Sterling Austin just going right after these Lynchburg hitters. 1-2 count as Garcia fouls one away. This is the 10th batter that Austin has faced. He's given up 2 hits. The man on deck, Ben Jones, had the double in the first inning. Garcia will pull one off the end of the bat. Harris sticks the hand out, says he's got this one on his own, and does tap the bag for out number 2 of the 3rd inning. So Ben Jones is 1 for 1 today. Came into the game hitting .295. Ben Jones has taken 34 walks this year, though, so the on-base percentage looks really good. There's some hit-by pitches in there as well, 6 of those. But the average is a bit lower than Ben Jones would want. I think he still had a great season. Ben Jones was one of those postseason heroes as well. We talk about Eric Hyatt and Sean Pokerock a lot, but Ben Jones reached base safely in all 18 postseason games. That's that first round of the ODAC tournament all the way to the national championship winner-take-all game in Cedar Rapids. Ben Jones hit a towering home run there in Cedar Rapids in Game 3 against Johns Hopkins, where Lynchburg secured their national championship. He was on base in all 18 in the postseason. Had hits in 14 of those. Extra base hits in 8 postseason games for the guy that we called Benny Bombs because of his explosive abilities. Count is 2-1. We thought Austin might have got to a 3-ball count finally, but the umpire snuck a strike in there on us. Now it is a 3-ball count. 3-1. Benny Bombs has got to be sitting on green here, payload ready. Let's see if Sterling Austin gives him something he can swing on. Yeah, nice pitch. That's strike 2. That's nasty breaking ball. Even on those balls, Austin was around the zone. I mean, they were close. I like what Sterling Austin's got going on the mound for Hampden-Syndey right now. Sophomore from Petersburg is ready. Here's a full count delivery coming up to Ben Jones. He'll foul one away. And this will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat coming up. Ben Jones, much like the guy on deck, Eric Hyatt, never afraid to hit with 2 strikes. So much fun to watch those guys. They really work a pitcher. Here comes another full count offering from Sterling Austin. Jones under this. Long run. Second baseman is in basically deep right field right now. And finally, the right fielder, Jake Moore, calls him off. It was a long run for everybody. Moore took over and made the grab in the end. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Lynchburg. Hampden-Syndey on top, 1-0 through 3 complete at Fox Field.
My name is Sarah Watts, and I'm a computer science major. I chose to play softball at the University of Lynchburg because I came to friendlies and camps, and the team and the coaches were so welcoming, and after that, I knew this was the place for me. The University of Lynchburg has helped me achieve goals because through my classes I do group projects, and I think that will prepare me for my job when I need to work with people. The person that has the most influence in my life would be my parents, because throughout my softball career they have done nothing but support me, and when I have bad games they always pick me up, and they're always the people that I go to for anything because they just know that they're always there for me. I like playing softball at the University of Lynchburg because the girls and the team, they're all super fun to be around, and they always welcome you, and they're always there if you need anything, and if you ever have any questions, they're the people that can answer them for you.
Greer Farr leads off for Hampden-Syndey in their half of the fourth. Both teams got runners on in the first and second innings. Hampden-Syndey obviously has gotten one in with the 1-0 lead. And then it was 3 up, 3 down for both squads in the third inning. A quick moving first 3 innings of the ball game. Starting pitchers appear to have it going. No walks yet in this game. We have had 1 error, but some pretty aesthetically pleasing baseball from those perspectives. Not many hits just yet. McGuire has sat down 5 in a row. By the way, he was pumped to end the third inning with a big strikeout on Christian Lancaster. This is Greer Farr now hitting with a 2-1 count. He struck out in his first at bat. Jackson Masterson, the shortstop, waiting on deck. Swing and chop foul from Farr. Count is even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lynchburg at home tomorrow against Mary Washington. Hampden-Syndey hosting William Peace on Thursday. Hampden-Syndey's just got 3 games left, so it looks like they're only going to play 35 or 36 this year. Oh, bad hop, 8 up, Brandon Garcia. Might have caught him on the chin there. Garcia's still on his feet. Was going to backhand a ball. Good piece of hitting by Greer Farr to go with that pitch with 2 strikes. That ball, that final hop, just got up shoulder or chin height there on Brandon Garcia. That's tough luck. That's a tough luck error. Garcia's got 2 errors in this game now. His first one was a throwing error. That one as a shortstop, you got to feel for him a little bit because that's just a bad hop. Masterson out front. Hyatt's going to field. Gets the first out at second base. Fast turn from Garcia, but Masterson beat the throw down to second. Slide from Farr might have extended past the base, but no dispute or disagreement from the Lynchburg coaching staff, so I think everything was clean there at second as far as a potential interference from the runner, although you could see a little bit there on your replay, fans. Good job by Hyatt to bounce off, get that ball, feed it into second to get the lead runner. Masterson's on for the second time today. He scored the only run in this ball game. McGuire's going to throw over on him. That was close. Got a good roar from the Lynchburg dugout. There is 1 out now in the top of the 4th inning. The hitter is the catcher, Tillman Butler. He's 1 for 1 so far off McGuire. Long hold and then a jump spin from McGuire. That's another fun thing about these 2 arms right now. McGuire's a freshman. Sterling Austin is a sophomore. They both really seem to have that commitment to keeping runners close on the bases. They're working hard. McGuire will do it again. Almost looked like he might have had a change-up grip on that one. Looked like he kind of pitchforked it over to first base. But that's one that, you know, at the big league level, you're limited on your throws that you can make to first now. But I just think it's a fascinating part of the game. How do you slow those runners down? How do you give your catcher a chance? Maybe you're giving all your fielders a better chance, too, when you throw over and keep runners close. Now with the rules at the major league level, you almost have to try to pick the guy off when you go over there. There's no, let me throw over 4 or 5 times to wear this guy out, just a token throw, you might call it. Can't really do that anymore in the pro game. But you can still do that here in college, as evidence from McGuire, although some of these have been close. It's an 0-1 count. Pokerock slides out. Pitch kind of ran back on the plate there. It was a ball. I wonder if Pokey was closer and that pitch split the body, if the ump might have given it to him. Hard to say, especially as an impartial observer. 1-1 count now. Butler ready. Won't get one yet as McGuire snaps it over again. Another close one. I mean, Eric Hyatt was out of there in a hurry, almost trying to sell it as the first baseman. Here we go. Another great replay. Yeah, you be the judge, fans. Umpire's right there on it. That's a lot of fun. And that's the thing. I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit here. Is this ball bounces into Masterson. Hyatt will pick it up. It probably stings a bit. I'm going to get on my soapbox, though. I know Major League Baseball wants to speed up the game by limiting those throws, but isn't that a fun play right there when you get to see how close that was on the replay? I mean, doesn't that bring something to the game? I don't know. Maybe the casual fans think it's boring. We're actually getting some feedback from the press box saying it is boring when they throw over all the time. All right. I mean, he's back on the slide, though. It's not like he's just walking back into first. That's the great thing about our game. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I think it's beautiful. But yes, I must be in the minority, or otherwise they wouldn't have had that rule put in place. So I must be one of the few that likes a dozen throws over and then at bat. I think there's some value in breaking the hitter's rhythm as well. Tillman Butler's been just watching most of his at bat. He's going to watch again here. It's another throw from McGuire. I mean, the pitcher gets to kind of keep the arm loose, obviously, chucking it over there to first base. The batter, he just got to kind of sit there and wait. He's just taxiing down the runway. They won't let him ever take off. It's a 1-2 delivery coming up. There will be a pitch. Butler was able to foul it off. But yes, the beauty of baseball. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Everybody should have their own opinion. If everybody thought the same way about the game, then it would be boring. So that's what's fun. You get some different viewpoints and approaches. As McGuire will take another shot at Jackson Masterson. Masterson's been on twice, but he's actually 0 for 2. Error and a fielder's choice. Jackson Masterson on the year is just 50% stolen base department, 6 for 12. Not quite as good as you would like there. 2-2 count as McGuire has missed the zone. Now, I would say it disturbs the hitter's rhythm and timing, but as a pitcher, if you throw over so many times and you may lose some of the rhythm of your own. Not saying that's what's happened with McGuire here, but it is a full count now to Tillman Butler. Butler steps out to look at the play sheet that he has attached to his belt. Some guys wear it on the wrist. And he's back in. Full count delivery coming up, 1 out. Masterson might be on the move here. No, he'll stay put, and Butler will foul one away. It was a fast-moving first 3 innings of the game. Maybe I jinxed that, as McGuire has had a steady diet of pickoff feeds over to first base. 3-2 coming up again. Nope, not yet. McGuire will spin. Masterson back on the dive again. And it's a 1-0 ball game right now between Hampden-Syndey and Lynchburg. McGuire gets the sign. He will kick and fire on a 3-2, but it's fouled off again from Tillman Butler. So this at-bat has turned into one where we might have to go back and look at the timing of it all because it's taken so long now. Multiple full-count foul balls. At least, I would say, double-digit pickoff attempts. Maybe 12 or 13. You never think to count that stuff up when the at-bat starts. Masterson running, another foul ball. Tillman Butler will continue this long at-bat. These are the at-bats I call the heart and soul of our game right here. The battle between pitcher and hitter. Neither wants to give in. And with a runner on first, adding some spice to the element, to the brew, that makes it even that much more fun. Ooh, that hit the helmet of Tillman Butler. He looked to be a little disappointed, but obviously that wasn't intentional on a full count situation there from McGuire. Butler's okay. Thought maybe a trainer might run out and give him a once-over. Looks like the coaching staff's going to give him a once-over, and the umpire's in that direction as well. It's a hit by pitch. Strange way to finish off what was really a great at-bat. But Butler is on. Going to get a mound visit now from assistant coach Michael Solbach. Probably good timing for that. You ran one up and in, bounce it off a guy's helmet. Never hurts as a coach to go settle your pitcher down just a tad. The hitter will be Jace Howell when we get back. He's 1 for 1, so that could also be part of the conversation up there. Perhaps a plan of attack on Howell. Jack Wilson in the hole, the 9-hole hitter, and then it'll be top of the order for Hampden-Syndey. We're in the top of the 4th inning. It is a 1-0 Tiger lead at the moment. Lynchburg will send 3-4-5 up to bat in their half of the 4th inning. Mound conference over. As Michael Solbach will stride back to the dugout, the catcher Sean Pokerock will head behind the dish, and we'll get ready for baseball again.
Now batting number 60, Jace Howell.
And this is number 60, the first-year man, Jace Howell, Portsmouth, Virginia. Gavin Collins even with the bag at third base. Breaking ball, just missed. Howell did bunt for a base hit in his first at-bat. That perfectly placed ball down the first base line. Eric Hyatt is behind the runner at first. That wasn't a first and third situation. This is runners first and second. So slightly different offensive focus here probably from Jace Howell. 1-1 count. McGuire went back-to-back breaking balls. The second was a called strike. Brandon Garcia, the shortstop, shaded slightly up the middle. Outfield straight away for Lynchburg. This ball pulled. What a stab by Hyatt. Throw from the knees to second. They got the out there. Garcia tried to sneak a throw behind the runner at third. That was exciting baseball for you there. I don't know how you could not like that. Eric Hyatt laying out full stretch. Stabs that ball before it gets into the outfield, then throws to second on his knees. It was close there. And then Brandon Garcia turned and wheeled into third to try to get Greer Farr making a big turn. Did not get the out at third, but did get the out at second. It's a fielder's choice. Some elite defense there by Eric Hyatt. That was impressive. It's a really good play. So I always talk about those plays you don't practice very much, as Jack Wilson took a mean cut on the first pitch, fouls it away down the left field line. I always talk about those plays you don't practice very much. You probably don't have your first baseman practicing throwing from his knees a whole lot. But that play comes up every now and then, as you see. A 1 delivery coming up from Colin McGuire. Jack Wilson took another big cut, came up empty that time, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Center fielder O'Kelly McWilliams was in that left center gap after that long foul ball down the left field line. Now he slides a bit more straight up. McGuire went with a breaking ball off the plate, ball 1. Howell will cruise into second. Don't know if it was a delayed steal or just an intentional no cover from Lynchburg. But Howell's in scoring position now. Runners on second and third. Let's see how pumped Colin McGuire gets if he gets another one of those big strikeouts. He ended the last inning with a punch out. He's got 4 in the game. Here's the pitch. Wilson stays alive. Looked like some shrapnel might have caught Sean Pokerock there on the foul ball. Umpire's going to give him a chance to compose himself. Skull cap fell out of the hands of Pokerock. Then he kind of kicked at it a little bit. And now he's basically set and ready to go again. Sophomore Jack Wilson. Base hit, should score 2. McGuire's ready. Here's the pitch. Got him swinging. It is a big punch out. 2 left stranded. And Lynchburg trails by 1 heading to the bottom of the 4th, but just 1 as McGuire pitches around a spot of bother to keep the Hornets arm's length away.
You have a great look. Let me just tell you that. I know you don't know me yet, but I want to work with you. I'll get a picture real quick.
He has no heart, no passion. He looks lost out there. Yeah, thanks, man.
Just once more, and you came and you took control. You touched my very soul. You always show me that
Tigers get a couple in scoring position in the top of the fourth, but Colin McGuire, a big pitch to slam the door there. Jack Wilson strikes out. It's been 5 left on in the ball game for Hampden-Syndey, 4 of those in scoring position. Lynchburg has no runs on just 2 hits. They've left 2 on, 1 in scoring position. No walks from this man, Sterling Austin. No errors from the Tiger defense. So it's just 2 base runners so far for Lynchburg. Second at bat here for the 3-hole man, Quinn Madden. Madden will let the barrel go and send one into the outfield. Left center gap, and the center fielder takes control. That was Jack Wilson calling off the left fielder, Christian Lancaster, who was on his way over there. Back-to-back F8 flyouts there for Quinn Madden. Will bring up Eric Hyatt, grounded out to second baseman on his first at bat. Well, Hyatt made a good defensive play in that 4th inning. The dive, backhand side, laying out, then a throw from his knees directly on target to second base to get the lead runner there. Big-time play for Lynchburg. If that ball gets through, it might have been a run scored on that play, but certainly then it would be bases loaded with 1 out if Hyatt doesn't make that play. So don't leave that one out of the conversation when you tell the story of this game later on. It is a 1-0 Hampden-Syndey lead at the moment. Hyatt thought about offering it a breaking ball in the dirt, but held up. It's a 1-1 count. Sean Pokerock, the catcher on deck, grounded out to the shortstop in his first at bat. We're talking about postseason heroes from last year. Hyatt definitely in that conversation. Fastball up and in, moves out of the way. It's a 2-1 count. And the great stat for Eric Hyatt, he had 10 RBI in Iowa. 10 RBI in those final 6 games for the University of Lynchburg, the national championship run. That one was right down Main Street. Hyatt content just to watch it go in the catcher's mitt. Now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eric Hyatt, second best average on the team last year, the entire season at .374. He'll take the walk. Must have been a full count there. As Hyatt will toss the bat and head down to first. There is the first base on balls issued by Sterling Austin. Third base runner of the game for Lynchburg comes here in the bottom of the 4th inning. This is Sean Pokerock. Just since we're talking about postseason heroes, he had 8 postseason hits, including 3 in the opening game there in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, against Wisconsin Lacrosse. How about this? Pokey's got the 3rd hit of this game. Just absolutely stings one into the outfield. One bounce over. It's a ground rule double from Sean Pokerock. He ambushed a first pitch fastball from Sterling Austin. I mean, that was one of the higher exit velocities we've seen this year. That got into the outfield in just a blink of an eye. If he gets any kind of elevation on that ball, it's long gone, but it was basically just a laser beam line drive. Second double of the game for Lynchburg. 3rd hit. And now it's 2 in scoring position for Gavin Collins. A proven run producer. Great spot for him. See what Austin goes with. Another fastball or maybe a breaking ball. Corners are in for Hampden-Syndey. It was the breaking ball in the dirt. Textbook block there from Tillman Butler. That was good. That ball bounced really early. I don't know if it quite bounced in front of the plate or not. That's a tough block from Butler. Butler's going to actually ask for time and run out to the mound and talk to Sterling Austin a bit. It's always been a close game. It's a 1-0 ball game, but this feels very tight. This feels like tension time here early in the bottom of the 4th inning. On the season, Gavin Collins has driven in 23, 141 RBI in his incredible career. 1-0 count. Austin looking at the runner at third. Here's the pitch to Collins. That does catch the top left portion of the strike zone. And it's a 1-1 count with 1 out. Joe Munitz is on deck. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Ones are wild all of a sudden in a 1-0 game. Collins waiting. Swings at that. Ground ball to third. Arnold's going to go home. Low throw. Did the catcher hold on to it? No, the ball is bouncing free. Good hard slide there by Eric Hyatt. Thought it was a nice play by Arnold to come up firing. The throw was really in that perfect tagging zone, but I think a good hard feet first slide from Eric Hyatt dislodged the baseball. See what we can see on this second look here. Just at the left portion of your screen. I think the throw beat Hyatt. It's going to go down as a fielder's choice. And there's still one out. Now runners at the corners in a tie ball game. 1-1 game now. Hyatt scores the first Lynchburg run. Joe Munitz is 1 for 1. He'll show the bunt. He'll push it to the first baseman, similar to what Hampden-Syndey did. Tagged out at first is Joe Munitz, but it's an RBI sacrifice bunt as Sean Pokerot hustles home. First to third offense on display from both these teams. That's really a place where, as a coach, you can almost call some plays and do some different things. And we've seen both squads make use of that. It's a Lynchburg lead, 2-1. Runner in scoring position for Logan Webster. Austin has not pitched bad at all. Bar maybe the walk to Eric Hyatt. We talk about how good Eric Hyatt is with the walks and not striking out. It was another full count walk for Eric Hyatt. He gets so many of those because the at-bats do go to 2 strikes. This is an 0-2 count on Logan Webster. Austin checks the runner. He's set, longer hold, now delivers. Just off the plate. That had some bite on that breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strike count. 9-hole man O'Kelly McWilliams is on deck with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Lynchburg with their first lead, 2-1. Pitch to Webster's upstairs, eye-line fastball that he doesn't even think about swinging at. And now the count is even at 2-2. RBI bunt there for Joe Munitz. Logan Webster trying to drive in Gavin Collins, who leads off. Won't happen here as Sterling Austin breaks off another breaking ball to get the strikeout to end the inning, but it's a good one for Lynchburg. Just 1 hit, but they score 2 runs, and they take the lead here at home. Hope you're enjoying it on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
There was 1 run in the second inning for Hampden-Syndey. Lynchburg got their 2 just recently here in the bottom of the 4th. It's 2 runs on just 3 hits for Lynchburg. They've stranded 3, 2 of those in scoring position. Hampden-Syndey has 1 run on 4 hits, and they've left 5 on. Starters still out there for both squads. This is Colin McGuire, first-year man for Lynchburg. Ball 1 to the leadoff hitter, Grayson Harris. Check swing there from Harris. Did not offer. Now the count is 2-0. Grayson Harris still riding that 12-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 2 in this one. McGuire went inside. Harris put a good move on that, but fouled it back. Grayson Harris is a junior. He's closing in on 100 career hits. He's sitting on 90 right now. 2-1. Lynchburg will have 9-1-2 coming up in their half of the fifth. It's the top of the order here for Hampden-Syndey in the gray uniforms with the burgundy trim, white pinstripe pants. Lynchburg in the red top for Code Red Day, white pants, black hat with the red bill. 3-1 count on Harris. Yeah, good pitch there. Called swing. Now the count is full. Benches coming alive, crowd coming alive. It's a good one outside today. Harris on that breaking ball. Nails it into the left center gap. Logan Webster was trying to cut it off, but the route would not allow him to do that, and Harris is at second with a stand-up double. It's now a 13-game hitting streak for Grayson Harris. In scoring position for the reigning ODAC Player of the Week, Jake Moore. Jake Moore's had quick at-bats. We didn't even really get to tell you how he got that award. Last week, he did not make an out in 9 plate appearances. He was 3 for 3 against Virginia Wesleyan with a double and a triple. 5 for 5 against Avert this weekend. Threw a stolen base in there as well. Scored several times. Drove in runners. Jake Moore with an outstanding week. Freshman picking up the ODAC Player of the Week. All right, now he's got his first hit of the game. Grayson Harris is going to score. That ball was fielded basically in deep right center field by Quinn Madden. Throw comes in, deflected off Brandon Garcia's leather. Moore can't get any further, but that's an RBI single for the freshman Jake Moore. And there's nobody out here in the top of the fifth with a really good part of the order for Hampden-Syndey. It's the 3-hole hitter Matt Arnold. He is 1 for 2, grounded out to short rather in his last at bat. Could be a sacrifice bunt option in play here for Hampden-Syndey, or maybe they just let Arnold swing away. We know Colin McGuire is going to keep a close eye on the runners. In this case, that runner is Jake Moore. An RBI single to tie the ball game up. Jake Moore 7 for 9 in the stolen bases department this season. And remember, that's not exactly in a full season of work there for the first-year man, Jake Moore. That's 7 stolen bases in 15 starts coming into today. So he will be a threat to possibly run. Upstairs fastball, it's a 1-0 count. Lynchburg does have options getting loose in their bullpen. A right-handed and a left-handed arm both working in the Lynchburg pen behind their dugout. Haven't seen any activity in the Hampden-Syndey bullpen just yet. It's a 2-2 ball game as we get another mound conference between the battery, the catcher Sean Pokerock, and the pitcher Colin McGuire. Home plate umpire is going to stroll out there and expedite this. Pokey was starting to back away anyway. Looked like things were done. Maybe he just heard the footsteps of the umpire and decided I better wrap this up. 1-0 count for Matt Arnold, who on the season hits .337. He's driven in 19. He's got that stat that I talk about with a lot of Lynchburg hitters, more walks than strikeouts. 11 base on balls to just 5 strikeouts. Just the Sean Pokerock try to pick off the attempt. Well, the ball got in the dugout after a bounce off the umpire. Eric Hyatt's just got the hands out kind of beside himself there saying, what do we got to do here? The ball went out of play in the Hampden-Syndey dugout. So that's the reason why Jake Moore will advance to second. But watch this. This ball first kicks in low. It bounces off Hyatt's glove and maybe his lower body, and then it hit the first base umpire and then went into the Hampden-Syndey dugout. Coach Travis Beasley is out of the Lynchburg dugout to have a chat about it. That's what I've been talking about all season, fans, is our umpires at first base get really close now. I mean, they get their nose like right on those pickoff attempts at first. So any kind of a bad throw seems to put the home plate umpire in a weird predicament over there. He has to watch out for the ball and keep himself safe while trying to make a call. Now, the other side of that coin is if the ball is going to hit the umpire, it's probably not in tagging range to get the fielder out. And the umpires will now get together and chat it up about this. They're going to say the runner will stay at second. That's Jake Moore. It's one of those, I guess, just falls under bad luck for Lynchburg. I don't fault Travis Beasley, the head coach for the Hornets, for asking the question. Now it may really become a sacrifice bunt situation here as Matt Arnold will look at the play sheet. Runner on second with nobody out. Hampden-Syndey's already scored a run in the innings, back-to-back base hits. Double from Grayson Harris to lead things off, and then Jake Moore drove him in. Moore stands at second right now in a 2-2 ball game. Here's the pitch from McGuire. That was close, but ball 3. Looks like the bunt sign is not on for Matt Arnold. That's probably an error on somebody for Lynchburg to allow that base. Although sometimes, Moore's running. Moore is running on a 3-0 count. Low pitch that Pokey seemed to dig out of the dirt, but it's a called strike. A lot happening on that play. Pokerok seemed to indicate he didn't know that the runner was going. It's a called strike. I think Matt Arnold's maybe wondering why it wasn't ball 4, but now there's a runner 90 feet away from Matt Arnold. Corners are in. Everybody's in for Lynchburg, actually. Infield on the grass. Arnold likes that one. Ropes it to center. Long run for O'Kelly McWilliams. He's got it. He'll throw home, but this is off the mark. The run will score. It's a successful sacrifice fly for Matt Arnold, and Hampden-Syndey takes the lead back 3-2. Tigers are on top. Good job to respond by Hampden-Syndey and answer Lynchburg's runs. Hornets scored their 2 in the bottom of the 4th. Now Hampden-Syndey's got 2 in the top of the 5th, and it looks like that's the end of the road for Colin McGuire. Travis Beasley's out of the dugout again to make a pitching change. We'll figure out the new arm in just a moment on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the athletic training laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
My name is Emily Brubaker. I am a junior from Raleigh, North Carolina. I am a marketing major with a digital media marketing minor. I chose to come to the University of Lynchburg because, first of all, the golf program was new and it was starting up, so I was really intrigued by that idea. And then the class sizes here are also really similar to what I had in high school. And that was really good for me because it meant I would have a good relationship with my professor. So when I did have to miss for golf, the professor knew me and being able to make up the work would be easier than if I went to a bigger school. What I like about the campus is walking around, everyone's just friendly in general. And first of all, it's a beautiful campus, but everyone around here is smiling and they're having fun. And it just has a really homey feel that is something that I really enjoy.
Left-hander Christian Lancaster hitting with none on and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Swings at the first pitch from the new pitcher, Austin Riney. Riney will have to hustle to cover. Close play there at first, but Lynchburg got Lancaster by a step. It is the left-hander Austin Riney on. Back-to-back lefties here in the Tiger lineup, probably part of the equation, but Riney has been in this spot, this middle relief guy, the guy that will come in after the starter in close games. Good job by Riney to get over there and cover. I mean, that's not easy to do necessarily anytime, as far as swinging at the first one and blooping it in. Logan Webster lost a footing out there in left field. No damage, I don't think, maybe just slight embarrassment. But for Riney, you're just coming in trying to think about making a good pitch fresh out of the bullpen. And then you got to hustle over and cover first on a tough play. That was a ball that Eric Hyatt, the first baseman, actually fielded on the outfield grass from Lancaster there. But he's out. Farr is on. It's Jackson Masterson, the shortstop. He's been on twice, but actually 0 for 2, reached on an error and a fielder's choice. There's 2 outs. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Syndey leads again, 3-2. They scored 1 in the 2nd, 2 here in the 5th. It's a 1-1 count. Austin Riney on the season. This is appearance number 16, all out of the bullpen. He's 2-1. Really a guy that emerged early in the year, taking the ball in some big games. Pitched well in Greensboro in a matchup against Salisbury. And it just seems to have a lot of confidence, seems to have the belief of the coaching staff. It's good stuff. He's a guy that had 3 appearances last year, but basically just an inning of work his first season. But in his sophomore campaign, he has really been a key fixture. 17 strikeouts, 10 walks. The ERA for Riney is at 5.23. It's a 1-2 count on Masterson. And Pokerock held on. Masterson got a piece of that. Pokey held it up to show it to the umpire. Masterson in disbelief, but he'll walk back to the dugout. Looked like they got some confirmation from the first base umpire as well. So it's a punch out there for Austin Riney, but damage is done. Hampden-Syndey jumps out to the 3-2 advantage over Lynchburg.
My name is Taylor Clark, and I graduated in the spring of 2019, and I was a math major, and I'm currently a processing and packaging supply chain leader at Frito-Lay here in Lynchburg. As a math major, I loved every single second being in the classroom. I would fight for those professors, my classmates. I learned and grew as a person being in that class and challenging myself more than I would have ever thought I could. A big part of my job is root cause analysis and being able to look at a problem and figure out why did this happen and how can we make sure that this doesn't happen again. So as a math major, you learn that you need to have fundamental truths before you make any other statement, make any other assumption. The reason why I chose Lynchburg, and it's the general consensus on campus, is the relationship you get to build with your professors. And that sense of community that you get where you and your peers all understand and know that the people who are trying to push me to be better also will support me through it all.
3-2 ball game. Hampden-Syndey leads. They got 2 runs on 3 hits in that 5th inning. Sac fly in there from Arnold. They leave 1 on. For Colin McGuire, it looks like he surrendered 5 hits in 4 1/3 inning of work. Struck out 5, walked just 1. Actually, McGuire walked none. He did hit a batter, though, hit Tillman Butler. Here's the 9-hole hitter for Lynchburg. Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning, it's Ivy, O'Kelly McWilliams the 4th. And the nickname Ivy from the Roman numerals, IV. 0-1 count. Sterling Butler, not exactly on cruise control for Hampden-Syndey, but he's pitching pretty good. Ivy's going to slash this one. Deep left center field. But the center fielder, Jack Wilson, will make the grab relatively easily. And that's the first out of the inning. Here's Brandon Garcia coming up for his third at bat of the ball game. Ben Jones on deck. Garcia's 0 for 2. Swung at the first pitch of the game and flew out to left, and then grounded out to the third baseman in his second at bat. Garcia looking to heat up. Lynchburg down by 1. Hornets did not score in innings 1, 2, and 3. They got a 2 spot last inning. So you're hoping from an offensive perspective they can just keep that going despite surrendering 2 runs in the top of the 5th. There's a fastball at the knees. The throw from Tillman Butler was nowhere close to the pitcher. Now they've overthrown it again, and this never makes you feel good as a coach to see the ball just kind of rolling free along the infield like that. Kind of gives it a bit of a little league vibe, although it happens even at the higher levels. Back-to-back bad throws. 0-1 count. Garcia pumps that one right over the second baseman's head into right field. That's his first hit of the ball game. Took the hard turn around first, but the right fielder Jake Moore picked that up in plenty of time. So Hollywood's on. He's now hit safely in 18 of his last 20. It's 20 straight on base for Brandon Garcia. The great sophomore season continues. Still think it's maybe just slightly below his standard. I mean, Brandon Garcia was the guy that led Lynchburg with 63 hits last year. Hard to top that, but I think Garcia wants to. And of course, the year is not done, of course. He's got 2 ODAC Player of the Week awards in his pocket, Brandon Garcia. And he will be a green light to run there at first base. He was leaning, nearly got caught on a good pickoff attempt from Austin, but diving back in time. I said all the pickoff throws, might disturb the hitter's rhythm, but that's an old school thing too, that a base runner will bother the pitcher, a speedy base runner. He starts thinking about that more than throwing strikes potentially. 3 straight tosses over there from Austin to keep an eye on Brandon Garcia. On the season, BG is 23 of 27 in the running department. Fastball missed away, and it's a 1-0 count for Ben Jones. Doubled in his first at bat. It was basically a head-high line drive that had enough velocity to carry all the way to the fence. It was a stand-up double in the first inning. Ben Jones 1 for 2, flew out to right in his last at bat. Here's the 1-0. Jones wanted that, took a swipe, fouled it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quinn Madden 0 for 2 on deck. And then Eric Hyatt 0 for 1 with a walk. Hyatt scored the first run of the game for Lynchburg. It was 2 last inning for the Hornets. We are in the bottom of the 5th right now. Another strong throw from Sterling Austin that gets Brandon Garcia back on a dive. 7 hits total for Hampden-Syndey. Lynchburg's got just 4. Fastball, outer edge, strike 2. Count is 1-2. Ben Jones and Brandon Garcia, high school teammates. Lynchburg fans are tired of hearing that, but the Hampden-Syndey fans might find some interest. Garcia running, Jones takes it. Not a bad catch and release there from Tillman Butler. But Garcia is safe at second for stolen base number 24 of the season. Nice sportsmanship there from Ben Jones to grab the mask for Butler and hand it back to him. Thought it was a pretty good throw, considering not a great pitch to throw on. Typically, they're low and in the dirt. Butler actually had a chance. 2-2 now on Ben Jones. Garcia bouncing off but stays put. Jones, good piece of 2-strike hitting there to just push that into left field. That's excellent. And for a guy that we call Benny Bombs, you think explosive, you think extra base hits, doubles, triples, homers. He can do that too. He can just go with a pitch. He can maybe shorten up a little bit with 2 strikes. Use the whole field. Excellent right there from Ben Jones. Second hit of the ball game for him. Here's Quinn Madden, still looking for hit number 1 in this contest against Hampden-Syndey. Quinn Madden, 16 multi-hit games on the season. He is the team leader in average. Madden is not just the leader in that category as well. Team leader in RBI. I say he's the team leader in average. Joe Munit's actually hitting .433. Not quite full-time numbers. Oh, Madden's got a hit there. That one scrambled Sterling Austin on the mound, made him dance a little bit. Look at the base running from Ben Jones. He never broke stride going first to third. We're tied up. Quinn Madden will add to his team-leading RBI total. 46 now on the season. That's hit number 51 on the year for Quinn Madden. He does lead the team in that department. It's 3 straight singles for Lynchburg. And the hits keep coming with Eric Hyatt. Batting now with runners on first and third. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Tie ball game again, 3-3. Fastball just missed. And now the count is 1-0. Eric Hyatt on the season now, 31 walks to just 12 strikeouts. Hyatt's average is over 300 as well. I mean, he's a pure hitter. He's more than just an eye up there. He can really swing it. Here's the 1-0. That does catch a piece. Not much difference in location there. Maybe a little bit higher on that one from Sterling Austin. 1-1 count. Madden doesn't run much, but he does have decent speed. 4 for 5 in the stolen base department. Seemingly right on cue, Sterling Austin will throw over to first to keep Quinn Madden close. Great base running there by Ben Jones, wasn't it? Ball up the middle. He never thought about tapping the brakes. Hyatt lifting this one into left. It'll stay in the ballpark. Lancaster makes the catch. Ben Jones tagging. Strong throw there is cut off by Arnold, and Ben Jones touches home. No problem. Lynchburg leads again. Back-to-back 2-run innings, at least so far anyway. That's a sacrifice fly from Eric Hyatt. Give him the team lead in that category. 6 sac flies on the year now for Eric Hyatt. Just a complete hitter. Madden advanced to second. Now you're going to get a mound visit from Hampden-Syndey that will include the entire infield. Quinn Madden scrambled to second there. Didn't get there on the sac fly. Did he catch the defense napping? Wow, Quinn Madden. Sneaky, high awareness play right there. Quinn Madden just kind of caught the D, catching a little breather after the sacrifice fly and rolled into second. That's sneaky good right there. Travis Beasley's out of the dugout for Lynchburg. I wonder what Coach Beasley's talking about. Is Quinn Madden coming out of the game? Quinn Madden's going to get a look from our athletic trainer, Dane Bauer. So, yeah, it looks like we might be able to take a look at it here. Right side of your screen, there's Quinn Madden. Yeah, realized the second baseman wasn't going to be able to get there in time. Shortstop was looking the other direction. I love that. That's the old high awareness, how to win kind of play. Great stuff from Quinn Madden. The only problem is he looks like he might have pulled something in doing so. He's gotten the once over from Dane Bauer. Maybe that was just to buy Quinn Madden a second. There was a defensive timeout going on through all that. It's a fun game here. We're seeing all kinds of stuff. We've had multiple plays where there's like several different things going on. And even upon replay, sometimes you might miss something subtle. Runner in scoring position. I mean, if Madden scores, you got to look back at that as a really big moment. They'll try to throw on him there. It was a high fastball, kind of a toss from Sterling Austin. But the second baseman, Jace Howell, was able to take it out of the sky before it skipped into the outfield. First pitch coming to Sean Pokerock. 2 outs. Pokey jumped on a fastball first pitch last time. He'll take this one up in the zone for ball 1. It was a ground rule double for Sean Pokerock. He also scored a run in that 2-run 4th inning. So Lynchburg here really coming alive in innings 4 and 5. 3 straight singles in this inning and then a sac fly. Look out, Sean Pokerock's got power the other way as well. Jake Moore on his bike to the track. catching that ball. Big inning for Lynchburg. Nice play there at the end by Jake Moore in deep right field. Hornets take the lead back 4-3. Lynchburg on top through 5 complete at Fox Field.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it in our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
My name is Jen Hyde. I graduated in 2018.
Logan Tapman is on the mound for Lynchburg in relief of Austin Riney. Riney faces 3 batters, and now it's the third pitcher of the ball game for the Hornets, Logan Tapman, sophomore from Berlin, Maryland. We'll run down his numbers in just a second, but it's a 2-run, 3-hit inning for Lynchburg. They leave 1 on. It's actually the exact same line for Hampden-Syndey in their half of the 5th. Tigers scored 2 on 3 hits and left 1 stranded, but Lynchburg with the lead, 4-3 again. Hornets scored 2 in the bottom of the 4th, 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Looks like the Lynchburg offense starting to get greased up and ready to go here. And more looks at Sterling Austin. I'm sure that's part of it. First pitch bash there from the catcher Tillman Butler, but it's in catching range for O'Kelly McWilliams as he comes sprinting on to make the grab for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Logan Tapman. On the year for Tapman, 3.38 earned run average. It's 1-1 the record with 1 save. 29 2/3 innings now. 22 strikeouts to just 10 walks for Logan Tapman. He has 1 start on the season, everything else out of the bullpen. I think starting could still be in the cards, especially in postseason play for Logan Tapman and further in his career. But this sophomore made 13 appearances last year. He was 3-0. He pitched a scoreless 6th inning in the winner-take-all game against Johns Hopkins. That's I think that's the one people forget about a little bit. Jack Batchmore starts that game 3 against Hopkins. Tapman came in for a scoreless 6th. Then it was Mason McDowell for a bit. And then the Sheriff, Wesley Arrington, finishing it off, securing the national championship with a strikeout for Lynchburg. 1-2 is the count. As Jace Howell kind of stepped out on one that was fuzzy. 2-2 is the count. And Tapman can throw that fuzz in your direction. He's got high velocity. And he's got a great breaking ball as well. This fastball just off the plate. And the count is full. Howell is the second baseman. He's 1 for 2 today. Reached both times. A fielder's choice last at bat. Left-handed swinger. Facing a full count delivery from Logan Tapman. He'll foul it away in the direction of Lynchburg's dugout. Jack Wilson is on deck for Hampden-Syndey. And then the top of the order comes around again with Grayson Harris. It'll be 4th at bat of the game for Harris. We are in the top of the 6th, so it's starting to get late in a close ball game. It's been close the entire day. Biggest lead for either squad has always been only 1 run. Hampden-Syndey jumped out to the 1-0 lead. It was Lynchburg 2-1 for a bit, then Tigers 3-2, after the top of the fifth. Now Lynchburg 4-3. It's a back-and-forth affair here at Fox Field. Another good job by Jace Howell to spoil a good pitch, just staying alive. Jace Howell is the first year. Only in the lineup, in the starting lineup anyway, for Hampden-Syndey. Looks like 3 sophomores for the Tigers. 2 juniors, 1 senior. Nice walk there from Jace Howell. That was tough. He had to foul off some good pitches. Tapman's first free pass, obviously, just the second batter he's faced, and there's 1 out here in the top of the 6th. And this will bring up Jack Wilson. Wilson struck out twice against Colin McGuire. It was a breaking ball in the dirt last time from McGuire that got Jack Wilson, the sophomore center fielder from Petersburg. Logan Tapman will throw over on Jace Howell. Still some guys getting loose in the Lynchburg bullpen. Some names you might know that we might see later on. It's another manager pitching week for Travis Beasley. Good breaking ball to start there from Tapman. It's a 4-game week here for Lynchburg. Today, non-conference tomorrow against Mary Washington, and then the conference doubleheader to wrap up ODAC play against Guilford on Saturday. So you want to have all those options available. You want to have your pitching in order. If you throw a little bit today, you could be a candidate to come back tomorrow, and certainly you would think a candidate to come back this weekend. But that's something I always talk about on the broadcast. How do you manage the bullpen? How do you get through the innings effectively and still have some firepower for the games that follow? Big swing and a miss from Jack Wilson. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Grayson Harris, the leadoff man, is on deck, doubled in his last at bat. Tapman looks at the runner as he comes set at the belt buckle, now picks up the hands and fires. Another snapper, and they got Jack Wilson again. He struck out 3 times today. I think they're all on breaking balls as well. Lynchburg's got a pretty good scouting report every game they play. The scouting from Coach Travis Beasley, legendary amongst other college coaches. He's someone whose opinion is sought after about how do you do the scouting. What makes you so good? Bees watches a lot of video. And they talk about Michael Solbach, the assistant coach. His scouting is more of the just eye test variety. They say if you let Solbach see a couple swings from you, he's going to figure out a hole. He's going to figure out patterns. He's going to figure out ways to attack, things to stay away from. Sharp breaking ball from Logan Tapman. Strike 1 on Grayson Harris. Harris was 1 for 3 in the 3 at-bats against Colin McGuire. 0-1 count. This was a running 2-seam fastball that Harris swung on and fouled into his own dugout. Looks like everybody's okay, but the count on Harris is 0-2. Hampden-Syndey 14-17 on the season. Last year, they were 20-19, 13-9 in ODAC play. What? 0-2 pitch will have to wait because Tapman throws over to first. Tapman's ready for another 0-2. Harris, bouncer to left. Left side of the infield, that is. Gavin Collins catches and throws to second base for the out. Good job by Collins to negotiate a high hop. I couldn't even see it. I thought it went into left field, but it was in the glove of the third baseman, Gavin Collins, as the inning is over. Hampden-Syndey gets 1 on. They leave 1 stranded, and Lynchburg leading 4-3 after 5.5 at Fox Field.
Lynchburg really stood out for me just because of the way it treated its students. They really do make an effort here, and I've learned that over my 4 years is that they actually do try to listen to what the student body wants, and they try to act on that. They don't really just give you a piece of paper here to then go off and do your own thing. They actually prepare you to like work with different populations, which is what the world is all about. It's just working with people that are different than you. They genuinely care that everyone has the ability to go off into the world and make a difference with whatever they like. For me, that's just being basically in a room with someone helping them achieve their first goal of, I don't know, doing a pull-up. I actually do believe they want you to do the best you can to change someone's life for the better. You can be anyone here, which I think is really cool. But regardless of who you are here, they will make sure you don't fall through the cracks, which is awesome. I have realized that I've never felt lost here. I will not regret ever coming here, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that I came here. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome.
Gavin Collins will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning for Lynchburg. Hornets offense appears to be heating up. They've got 4 runs on 4 hits in the last 2 innings. Gavin Collins will look at a breaking ball for a strike. It's still the starter, Sterling Austin, out there for Hampden-Syndey. Hats off to him. You make it into the 6th inning in any college baseball game. You've done something. But when you do that against this Lynchburg offense that is so good, it's a Lynchburg offense, folks, that's scoring more runs this year than it did last year in the national championship run. This season, Lynchburg just over 9 runs per game. It's 9.09 per game. Last season, Lynchburg averaged 7.89 runs per game. A little higher than that in postseason play for Lynchburg. But Lynchburg, the ERA last year was a nation best in the nation in Division III baseball. The earned run average last year at 3.25. That is higher this year for Lynchburg. So that's why the win-loss record is slightly different for the Hornets. But again, still a successful season. 22-13 for Lynchburg, 11-8 in the ODAC Conference. Last season, Lynchburg lost 3 games in conference play. 4 if you count the opening weekend loss to Bridgewater. Strike 3 looking. Gavin Collins didn't agree, but he'll have to walk back to the dugout. It is punch-out number 3 of the game for Sterling Austin. Here's Joe Munitz. 1 for 1. Put down a sacrifice bunt that scored the 2nd run of the game for Lynchburg. Singled in his first at-bat. 3rd time seeing Sterling Austin. Check swing on a ball that ended up under his hands. It's ball 1. Logan Webster on deck. Webster's 0 for 2. O'Kelly McWilliams in the 9-hole 0 for 2. Could see some changes in the batting order potentially for Lynchburg. They have shown a propensity to do that late in games. So we'll wait and see if there's any changes. Sterling Austin took a long stroll around the grass. Now he's back on the hill, toes the slab. It's a 2-0 count. Pitch coming to Joe Munitz. This is off the plate as well, and now it's 3-0. Arnold was in tight at 3rd base for Hampden-Syndey. Rest of the infield is normal depth and straightaway. Outfield slightly deeper. And they've got Munitz played straightaway as well. Ball 4, 4-pitch walk. First 2 were close. I think that's why Austin was taking the long spin around the dirt circle. But that last one was not close. 2nd walk that Austin has issued. We know that's a part of Lynchburg's game. If you don't know, fans, Lynchburg led the nation in walks last year. It led the nation in walks in 2022. This season, they're averaging just under 6 free passes per game. It's 206 through these 35 games. Changes coming on the mound here for Hampden-Syndey. Oh, let's just stay put and see if we can figure out who the new wing is. A good look at, I believe, number 11, who took the ball there for the Tigers. This will be Gavin Gregory. Gavin Gregory, in 10 appearances thus far, has a 7.23 earned run average. No wins, no losses, no saves. He struck out 15 in 18 2/3 inning of work. Batters hitting just 267 off Gavin Gregory. Gavin Gregory is on the mound for Hampden-Syndey. He will be the second pitcher they have used. Lynchburg has used 3. So Gregory will inherit a base runner. That is Joe Munitz on first after a walk. Logan Webster still looking for his first hit of the ball game. We'll see if he can get it off Gavin Gregory. Hampden-Syndey's got some great options coming out of their bullpen, including their closer, Alex Fitzhugh. He has 4 saves on the season. The batting average against Alex Fitzhugh is just 102 on the year. Alex Fitzhugh's only given up 5 hits this year in 16-plus innings of work. Selfishly, I hope we get to see him. If you're Lynchburg, you hope you don't, because you hope the other team isn't using their closer because you've turned it into a non-save situation or even a blowout ball game. But anyway, we'll hold that thought for a little bit later and talk about Gavin Gregory. He's a 6'2", 195-pound junior from Suffolk, Virginia. He'll spin and throw, keeping an eye on Joe Munitz. Talked about the Lynchburg running game a couple times today. Joe Munitz is a part of that. 6 stolen bases. He'll run here. Good pitch to go on. Breaking ball. 1 hop into second base. Safe. It was a fairly long look from the umpire. Almost had the vibe that he was going to call him out there on the stolen base. Sometimes the long look means they're waiting to see if you still have the baseball. A lot of times if you're safe, the technique for the umpire is just throw the safe call out right away. But Munitz was safe. Shortstop Masterson kept the hands on him. Logan Webster, he'll drill one to left. This ball's gone. Logan Webster leaving the yard. On an 0-1 breaking ball, Logan Webster spun on it, threw the barrel out, caught it flush, and sent it over the fence. How about Logan Webster? It's another 2-run inning for Lynchburg, at least at the moment anyway. For Webster, it's home run number 3 of his career. And Logan Webster now with 6 long balls in the career. It's 3 this season, 3 dingers this season for Webster, 6 in the career. And his chase to get 100 hits is going to probably be successful this season. I think Logan Webster had 90 coming into the game. 2-run home run for Logan Webster. Off the reliever, Gavin Gregory. 0-1 count here on O'Kelly McWilliams. It's a 6-3 Lynchburg lead now. Biggest advantage for either team of the day. And now Lynchburg has 7 hits just like Hampden-Syndey. Breaking ball from Gregory is a ball. 1-2 count. Leadoff man Brandon Garcia waits on deck. He singled in his last at bat. O'Kelly McWilliams has 1 homer on the season. Fastball from Gregory's in the dirt for ball 2. There's a stolen base from Joe Munitz on the first pitch of the at-bat. And then a breaking ball from Gregory that just hung enough for Logan Webster to get the sweet spot on it. Wind is blowing out here at Fox Field. Seen a few deep fly balls, but nothing that really threatened the fence yet. That one over the wall in left. Christian Lancaster was on it. He had a bead on it, but too far over the fence to try to rob that one. There's a full count walk from O'Kelly McWilliams. Walk number 3 Lynchburg has drawn as a team. First one Gregory is issued. So has not gone his way so far. Gavin Gregory has faced 2 hitters. Logan Webster homered. He walked O'Kelly McWilliams. O'Kelly McWilliams is going to be, it's like a drag strip concept here. He's going to be ready to take off. Probably first pitch. You never know. He doesn't always go first pitch. But O'Kelly McWilliams is the team leader in the stolen base department with 28 on the season. The man hitting is not far behind. Brandon Garcia's got 24. So add those together. 24 plus 28. What's that give you? 52? 52 stolen bases? That's 52 of Lynchburg's 80 amongst 2 players. O'Kelly McWilliams is running. Pretty good throw and catch there at second, but not in time to get O'Kelly McWilliams' feet first slide. 2 stolen bases in the inning for Lynchburg. Muniz had one right before the homer. 0-1 count on Brandon Garcia. I think Butler's got a pretty good exchange time and a fairly good arm. He put that one right on target. Got to watch out because O'Kelly McWilliams will take third on you as well. 1-1 count. This one skips into the dirt. Nice stop from Tillman Butler. Brandon Garcia, 1 for 3 in this ball game. Lynchburg now leading 6-3, threatening to blow this one wide open. There's one out in the bottom of the 6th. Gregory looking at McWilliams. He'll bounce off. Garcia hard to the second baseman. Got knocked down there by Jace Howell. Might have actually hit the shin, but Howell able to pick it up and throw to first to get Brandon Garcia. Brandon Garcia really hit that ball well. I don't think you can feel bad about that if you're Hollywood. IV moves up 90 feet. He's 90 feet away now for this man, Ben Jones, who is 2 for 3. A double in the first inning. And then his last hit was just a 2-strike poke check the other way. Really good piece of hitting, I thought. Ben Jones will watch a fastball go off the plate. 1-0 count. Gavin Gregory, the pitcher for Hampden-Syndey. Tigers have been in this game. They're still in the game. Looks like an intentional walk here for Ben Jones. He'll send him down to first, and it'll bring up Quinn Madden. Quinn Madden singled in his last at bat. There's some motivating factors there if you're the guy behind the man that just got intentionally walked. I don't think Quinn Madden really ever needs extra motivation. He's hitting .360 on the season. He's driven in 46 now. 7 homers, 2 triples, 11 doubles for Quinn Madden. But Hampden-Syndey likes this matchup a little bit better. I don't want to pitch to anybody in this Lynchburg lineup if it's me. But the Tigers taking their chances here with Quinn Madden, who fouls off the first pitch. Got to have your first third defense really tight here. Yeah, Ben Jones will take off. Let's see what the Tigers do. It's a pump fake to second. Jones will scamper in there. O'Kelly McWilliams did not bite on that at third. He was only a couple steps off the bag. 2 in scoring position now for Quinn Madden. Team leader in RBI has a chance to get 2 more. Maybe more than that with his power. He'll foul this away. And now it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Hampden-Syndey outfield defense is straight away. Normal depth, maybe slightly deeper on Quinn Madden. Here comes the 1-2 from Gregory. Check swing from Madden. Did he go? Tigers will ask the question. Ball 2. 2-2 count. Eric Hyatt is on deck for Lynchburg. No hits in the game for Hyatt, but he had a RBI sac fly and also walked and scored a run. Here comes the 2-2 to Quinn Madden. Up and in. Got out of the way of that heater, and now the count is full. 6-3 ball game. It's a 2-run home run in the inning from Logan Webster. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th for Lynchburg. Up to this point. Swing and a miss. It'll stay at 2 runs. 2 left stranded, but the Hornets on top of Hampden-Syndey, doubling up the Tigers 6-3 after the 2-run jack from Logan Webster.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Every great college has a great city. For Lynchburg, we are near urban areas with lots of restaurants, shopping, and events. Plus, we are one of the top schools in the area. Come see for yourself.
The two-hole hitter, Jake Moore, back up for Hampden-Syndey. 1 for 3 in this game. Jake Moore is the reigning conference player of the week. Takes a good hack at the first pitch from Logan Tapman. It's a 0-1 count. Jake Moore, 1 of 3 in a row in this lineup from Chatham High School. We got some of Chatham's finest watching the game today. Why wouldn't they be tuning in to see these 3 stars? Jake Moore is in an 0-2 hole. Didn't make an out last week for Jake Moore. That's a pretty good way to put yourself in the running for those Player of the Week categories. Just don't make an out. It's kind of hard for the powers that be at the conference to ignore that performance. 1-2 count coming up to Jake Moore. It's a good hole to this one. This ball is deep right center field. This ball is gone. Jake Moore just bashed the scoreboard in right center. You don't see that very often. And you don't very often see the outfielders just kind of give up in mid-flight, but they had to there as Jake Moore pounding a ball out of the ballpark in right center field. Hampden-Syndey's 1 step closer. 6-4 ball game. How good was that from Jake Moore? Grounded out in his first 2 at-bats, but then in the next 2, he's looked very much like a Player of the Week candidate. He might be a Player of the Week candidate again. This keeps up. Home run number 2 of the season for Jake Moore. He had a few of those in his time down in tight squeeze Virginia at Chatham High School. Down there, that ball's, you can't even find that ball again down there. If you're Logan Tapman, just keep plugging away. The old adage that pitchers talk about, a solo home run shouldn't beat you. It's probably true in this case. Working with a 3-run lead. Good part of the lineup. It continues here with another former Chatham Cavalier, Matt Arnold, grounds out to his counterpart, Gavin Collins, for the first out of the inning. Gavin Collins has played a sneaky good third base as usual. Nice glove work over there for the senior, Gavin Collins. All right, here comes the 3rd in a row from Chatham High School, Christian Lancaster. 0 for 3 so far today. Lancaster's faced 3 different pitchers now. Got 2 at-bats against McGuire, 1 against Austin Riney, and now facing Logan Tapman, the 2-seamers, up and away for ball 1. Lancaster is a junior captain now for this Tiger squad. Still thinking about the home run from Jake Moore. Well, Logan Webster's home run. Ball is flying. We said the wind is blowing out. I don't think either one of those falls under the wind-aided category, though. It certainly doesn't hurt as a hitter to have a little bit of extra boost. Another fastball has missed the zone from Logan Tapman. the sophomore from Berlin, Maryland, the eastern part of the state. Tapman's back on in the windup, ready to crank here with the 2-1 count. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. Hornets will send 4, 5, 6 up in their half of the 7th inning. Yeah, we're in the top of the 7th. Fairly fast-moving game other than a few slowdowns. Lancaster got a piece of that. He thought he fouled it off of himself and did not run. Delayed call from the umpire. Travis Beasley's out of the dugout. And Coach Bees is not the kind of coach that argues every call. I know we're a little bit biased because we watch all the Lynchburg games, but if Bees came running out of the dugout like that, that tells you something. But it is just a foul ball. Umpire called it a foul ball, just a little delayed there. So we'll have another 2-2 coming up. Lancaster stays alive, at least at the moment anyway. Swing and a miss that time. Tapman got his man, and there's 2 down in the top of the 7th. It'll be strikeout number 2 for Logan Tapman. 8th time the Tigers have gone down on strikes as a team. Greer Farr is the hitter. He has yet to face Logan Tapman. Farr has faced 3 different arms now, and he looks at a low strike 1. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. A run-scoring 7th, though, for the Tigers, thanks to the leadoff home run from Jake Moore. Swing and a miss from Farr. 0-2 count pretty quickly. Tapman looks like he's got good stuff, as usual. Tapman on the year now has surrendered just 2 home runs. Here's the 0-2. It's close, but ball 1. Lynchburg as a team has hit 34 home runs. They've given up 21. Pretty good ratio there as far as the power game goes. 1-2 from Tapman. Check swing. Think he got him. Yes, home plate umpire says it's a strikeout. 3rd for Tapman. 9th in the game for Lynchburg pitchers, and the Hornets still lead, trimmed slightly thanks to a Jake Moore solo shot. Lynchburg on top, 6-4 through 6.5 at Fox Field.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport.
New pitcher for Hampden-Syndey, 3rd one the Tigers have used is Hank Blanton. So Gregory faces 5 hitters. Gave up that 2-run home run to Logan Webster. It was great work starting from Sterling Austin. He faced 25 Lynchburg batters and really did a fairly decent job at keeping this potent lineup at bay, but the Hornets are starting to heat up. Eric Hyatt chopper to short. Masterson on the run, fields shin high, flings across for the first out of the inning. Let's talk about Hank Blanton a little bit. This is appearance number 9. He has made one start, 5.40 earned run average. Still under 10 innings on the season for Blanton, so not a huge sample size. Batters are hitting just 206 off Hank Blanton. So a key option here for Hampden-Syndey. Springs up Sean Pokerock. Pokey hit the ground rule double in his second at bat. He is 2 for 3. Confirming with the home plate umpire about where that first pitch called strike was. Pokey sprays this one to the right side. Don't think he was really on time the way he wanted to, but probably happy with the base hit. Sean Pokerock is on first with his second knock of the game. 8th hit for Lynchburg. Hampden-Syndey's got 8 hits as well. Here comes Gavin Collins. Still looking for his first hit of the game. Struck out twice, grounded into a fielder's choice. Good time for Gavin Collins to bust out. For Hampden-Syndey, they got 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th, and 1 there in the 7th, thanks to the solo slam from Jake Moore. 0s in 1, 3, 4, and 6. Lynchburg was scoreless in 1, 2, and 3. Then it's been a steady attack since then. 2 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. If you get 2 more here, not only is that just pretty to look at on the scoreboard, it tells you something about how consistent your offense is. Lynchburg has found a couple different ways to score runs. Sack fly in there, a little sack bunt that scored a run from Joe Munitz, 2-run home run from Logan Webster, so a little bit of everything. Ben Jones has doubled, Sean Pokerock has doubled, make it 3 extra base hits total for Lynchburg in this game. And matches up with their percentages on the season. More extra base hits this year for Lynchburg, in just addition to more runs in general compared to last season. 1-2 count on Gavin Collins. He'll wait as Sean Pokerock slides back into first safely. Logan Tapman is about to be one time through the Hampden-Syndey order as far as Lynchburg's pitching perspective goes. So maybe more for Tapman, or perhaps a change could be on the horizon for Lynchburg. And Tapman's walked 1 and given up 1 hit. That was the solo home run. I don't think you'd lift him for ineffectiveness, but perhaps, again, if you want to keep him fresh for future games, or you just maybe want to give the Tigers a different look. There's a weird chopper from Gavin Collins. That's going to go down as a base hit. Some bad luck there for Masterson and Arnold as they were trying to navigate and negotiate. I think I combined those words. They were trying to navigate the left side of the dirt and negotiate a weird hop, and it ends up going between both of them. Not sure they have a play, even if they keep that ball in the infield, just because it was a true high hopper. Dry field conditions here at Fox. I mean, it's been a fairly dry spring in Central Virginia. That's causing some of these weird hops. You water the field, but it just, in the spring with that sun and wind, it dries out so quickly. And we have seen a couple interesting ones, but that's a base hit for Gavin Collins. 9th of the game for Lynchburg. 0-1 count on Joe Munitz. He's got a base hit already. He's out in front on probably an off-speed pitch, slapping that foul, and now the count is 0-2. Munitz has had a great day, really. It was that sacrifice RBI bunt, singled, and he's walked. Hard to find fault in much that number 9, the first year, has done today. 0-2 count coming up. Set up pitch, high and away. Let's see how Blanton comes back off of that. There are runners on first and second. Matt Arnold, the third baseman, even with the bag. First baseman behind the runner on the right side of the diamond. Blanton checks the runner. Pokerock bouncing off. Here's the pitch. Munitz gets a piece, fouls it away. We'll try again here with a 1-2 count and 1 out. Logan Webster on deck, homered in his last at bat. That's got to be something that the Tigers dugout is thinking about. The pitching plan. How do we get these guys out? How do we limit the damage? Munitz up the middle softly. Could be 2. They shuffle to Masterson. High throw. That won't stay in the ballpark. That's going to lead to a run scored. Masterson knew he had to hurry. may not have had the perfect release. That ball sailed on him. That was nowhere near catchable for Grayson Harris. And a run comes in. It is the 7th run of the game for Lynchburg. They got Gavin Collins out on the fielder's choice. It's another fielder's choice here. But Munitz will go to second on the overthrow as well. He might have beaten a good throw anyway. It was going to be close. But that ball sailed on Masterson. Unable to keep it down. Trying to get the second one. Breaking ball. Logan Webster takes it. Ball 1. Awfully close. Webster hit a breaking ball out, I thought, on the home run swing. Could be wrong. Sometimes tough to tell back here in the press box. We could ask Logan Webster possibly in a post-game interview maybe. We'll see. 2-0 count. That fastball was not close. Nearly hit Webster. He's got to be sitting on green right here. Runner in scoring position is Joe Munitz, who runs well. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch to Webster. Wants it. Takes a rip. Lancaster lines it up in left field and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So Lynchburg does not continue the string of 2 runs, but they do get on the board in the 7th, and they up the lead back to 3. Hornets on top 7-4 over Hampden-Syndey through 7 complete at Fox Field.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
Logan Tapman still on the bump for Lynchburg. There is a defensive change for the Hornets. Ryan Long will go over and play first base in place of Eric Hyatt. That's a defensive change that we have become accustomed to this season. Hampden-Syndey still very much in the ball game, but down to 2 whacks at it. We're in the top of the 8th inning. This is Jackson Masterson. 0 for 3. He's actually reached twice, on once because of a fielder's choice and once because of an error. Struck out in his last at bat. Has yet to face Logan Tapman. This is 9 batters faced now for Tapman. And the sophomore really looking good. Gave up the solo home run to Jake Moore. That was long. We were trying to estimate the distance on Jake Moore's home run. I'm sure now with the new technology, the Google Earth and all these other things, it's probably a little bit easier to do, although Moore's home run hit the scoreboard, so you would have to estimate how much further it was going to go after that. 2-1 count on Masterson, a junior from Raleigh, North Carolina. Tapman in the windup. Just missed the zone upstairs for ball 3. Tapman and McGuire, notable Lynchburg pitchers that actually use a windup. You're starting to see the full windup kind of go by the wayside in baseball. Even some of those big league starters not using a windup anymore. Uh-oh. It was pretty much a routine ground ball from Masterson to Ben Jones. He did his usual sidearm throw over there to first, but the ball kind of sank and tailed, and Ryan Long couldn't dig it out. It's going to be an error on somebody. I guess Ben Jones, the second baseman, will take this one. But Masterson is on. It's actually the second time today he has reached on an error. Something to be said for putting the ball in play. Don't know that that's quite pressuring the defense, but put it in play. You force them to make a play. That was the old school thing. If you hit a ground ball, the defense has to make 3 plays on you. They got to catch it, throw it, and catch it again. Fly ball, they only have to catch it. And a strikeout, well, really just the catcher has to catch it then. Speaking of catchers, good play there by the Lynchburg backstop, Sean Pokerock, to smother that one and then pounce on it. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike to Tillman Butler. He's the catcher for Hampden-Syndey. Thought he's done a pretty nice job today. Lynchburg's gotten some stolen bases. I don't know how much fault you can place on Butler, though. Tapman will try to do his part to limit the Hampden-Syndey running game by throwing over on Jackson Masterson. Shortstop is 6 for 12 stolen bases this season. Gave you that number earlier. But we'll give it to you again. Breaking ball from Tapman. That was a good one. Now it's a 1-2 count. Lynchburg will have 2 conference games after today, just like Hampden-Syndey. Lynchburg finishes up with Guilford this Saturday. Hampden-Syndey hosting Bridgewater. And that'll probably be games that Lynchburg fans will keep an eye on because Lynchburg and Bridgewater tied at 11-8 in conference before today. They're tied with Shenandoah, who's also 11-8. Bridgewater's playing Washington and Lee today. Shenandoah's got EMU. Swing and a miss. Good pitch from Tapman. Went with the breaking ball and got him. He struck out 3 out of the last 4. Tapman might really be starting to get a feel and get loose out there. I always say starters will often get better as the game goes on. Why couldn't a reliever do the same? He's starting to figure out what he's got with his breaking ball, where to start it, where to finish it, how much he can bite off, what kind of velocity he's got in the tank on any given day. Figure out the other hitters a bit as well. Tapman has struck out 3 of the last 4, and he's got 4 punch-outs total. He walked Jace Howell the first time he faced him. There's 1 out with a 1-0 count. Yeah, look at the bite on that. Don't know how much you can see on your screen, but that ball is moving. True 12-6 curveball from Logan Tapman. 2-0 count. Howell did well to lay off. Middle target, it looks like. Tapman missed. Went with a fastball that skipped in to Pokey's mitt. 3-0 count now. Just began raving about Logan Tapman again, and he's fallen behind Jace Howell 3-0. All can be forgiven with a ground ball. See if Howell's got the green light or it's a take sign. Doesn't matter. That ball's not in contact zone, and it's a walk. Tapman has walked Howell both times he's faced him. The only player Tapman has walked. Here comes Jack Wilson. Jack Wilson 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. We're going to get a pinch runner. Running change at second, it looks like. No, I think it's just an offensive timeout. No changes coming. It's just Hampden-Syndey taking the offensive timeout. I love this part of the college game, the offensive timeout. You're never going to see that in the big leagues, but you get 1 an inning. Why not make use of it? There might be a change, though, as an assistant coach went and told our umpire something. It is a pinch hitter, yes. Jack Wilson was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in center field, so here comes a pinch hitter for Hampden-Syndey. This will be number 25, Julian Franks Pollock. Julian Franks Pollock will pinch hit for the Tigers in this 9-hole slot. And it's going to be a pitching change, too, as both teams are playing the chess match. Logan Tapman will hand the ball off. Good work from the sophomore. He'll give way to the mighty Mack. Nathaniel Mack is coming on in just a second. We'll pause and catch our breath and bring you back up to speed here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go crazy.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Julian Franks Pollock will be a new hitter for Hampden-Syndey. He will face a new arm. It's the Big Mac, the Mac Daddy. The Mighty Mac is back. Nathaniel Mack on the bump for Lynchburg. He has been electric second half of this season, and there's a big reason why. He has got a knockout slider. And typically for most pitchers, the fastball sets up the off speed. It's actually the other way for the Mac. He throws so many sliders that then when he cranks up a fastball that moves the other direction, it can become virtually unhittable. Franks Pollock will slash at another slider and foul it away. It's an 0-2 count. Mac on the season. This is appearance number 14. He's 2-1 with 2 saves, exactly a 3.00 earned run average. 19 strikeouts to just 5 walks. Batters hitting just a measly 215 off Nathaniel Mack. And that great slider. Let's see if he twists off another one. Checking the runner. Now here's the pitch. It was the slider. Franks Pollock able to lay off that one. So now he's thrown you 3 in a row. And he might throw another one here, but if he does decide to crank up a fastball, you're just almost helpless as a hitter guarding against that slider over and over. 1-2 from Mack. Oh, it was the slider, nearly hit Franks Pollock. He dodged it. Julian Franks Pollock, he's had a good season. Game number 17 he's played in. He's got 8 hits and 25 at-bats. That's good for a .320 batting average, driven in 6. 1 extra base hit. That is a lone double. 2-2 count. With 1 out, runners on first and second. There was the fastball. Franks Pollock got to it and fouled it away. Good at bat right here. Nathaniel Mack was on the mound against Shenandoah, locking down a multi-inning save. I believe it was 2 1/3 innings there for Nathaniel Mack on Saturday in Game 2 against Shenandoah. 2-2 count. Slider again. Franks Pollock got a piece. We had a great interview with Nathaniel Mack where he talked about working with Coach Beasley and Coach Solbach to get more bite on that slider, more movement. Senior from Yorktown. He has been electric this season. Mack checks the runner again. Straight front leg, now kicks and fires. Franks Pollock gets a piece, sends it into center field. That's going to be an out. O'Kelly McWilliams makes the grab, fires into the infield. Runner holds at second. And now there is 2 outs. We are in the top of the 8th inning. 4th pitcher Lynchburg has used. An error to start the inning. A strikeout from Logan Tapman, and then a walk. And most recently, a fly out. We're going to get a defensive change right now. Mid-inning defensive change as Quinn Madden will hustle off. And a new man will come on. Rare to see that in the middle of an inning. Quinn Madden did deal with a little something in lower body earlier this game. He took second base on kind of a defensive mental lapse and then had the trainer come out and look at him. Don't know if it was a hammy or exactly what it was, but Quinn Madden is off. Eddie Gimble is on. Eddie Gimble hustled into right field. He's out there right now. Don't know if he got a chance to warm up the arm or not. We haven't even had a chance to talk about Lynchburg's outfield play on Saturday against Shenandoah. 2 runners thrown out at the plate. Some incredible outfield play from both teams, but 2 Lynchburg assists at home against Shenandoah this weekend. Might not matter. 0-1 count. Swing and a miss. Grayson Harris is the hitter. He's in an 0-2 hole early. And this is where Nathaniel Mack tends to really get electric and let the emotions fly. 2 on, 2 outs, and 0-2 count. Slider coming again. We'll see. Here's the pitch. Mack got him. Another big punch out. The monster season for the mighty Mack continues as he storms back to the dugout. Lynchburg holds on to the lead 7-4. Tigers strand a couple runners in the top of the 8th inning.
My name is Brittany Coleman. I graduated in 2014 and I have a major in chemistry and a minor in secondary education, and I'm currently teaching chemistry and 7th grade science at a local combined school. Being able to have access to your professors pretty much anytime they're in their office is really helpful, especially in difficult science subjects. I love that I am able to teach a difficult subject to students who typically aren't going to perceive it as enjoyable. I'm able to present it in an interesting way because I was presented this information in an interesting way. It's nice for me to be able to mirror what it was that influenced me to be able to teach.
Some changes for Hampden-Syndey in the bottom of the 8th inning. And first and foremost will be a new pitcher, number 53, Alex Caruso, local guy, Appomattox High School. Coach Caruso's father, Alex Caruso's father is Coach Caruso, an outstanding high school coach in his own right, like the guy we mentioned earlier, Chad Anderson. In fact, those two used to battle in some great Dogwood District games. But anyway, Alex Caruso is on to pitch against O'Kelly McWilliams, who will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning for Lynchburg. Also a change in center field. It'll be number 2, Christian Chambers in center field for Hampden-Syndey. Lynchburg made a change there defensively with Quinn Madden coming out, Eddie Gimble coming in. We've seen Eddie Gimble hit quite a bit this season, so would not be surprised to see him take some swings here in the bottom of the 8th. If Lynchburg should get that far, it's 9-1-2 due up. Alex Caruso was on a state championship winning team for Appomattox, like those guys from Chatham that we mentioned, Arnold and Lancaster. I think Jake Moore was on that team as well. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. 1-1 count. That one nearly hit O'Kelly McWilliams. And now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 7-4 is the Lynchburg lead. Insurance, never a bad thing. Nathaniel Mack, up to his usual standards. Faced 2 batters, got a fly out and a strikeout. Arnold bobbled that, and with O'Kelly McWilliams, that's basically all she wrote. His speed forces you to be perfect in the infield. Probably still a hit. We'll look at our official score and wait for it. Has been ruled a single. Arnold had to go slightly to the backhand, and it was another weird hop. We have seen some interesting bounces on a dry Fox Field diamond today. Brandon Garcia's back up, 1 for 4 this game. We'll see how long it takes O'Kelly McWilliams to take off. Lob throw from Caruso pulled out of the sky by first baseman Grayson Harris. Both teams have tried a number of pickoff throws today. And I say a number because there have been so many we haven't been able to count. 2 so far in this at-bat. We can keep count here. Brandon Garcia, 1 for 4. He'll be looking for multi-hit game number 18 this season in this at-bat. Last year he had 19 multi-hit games. So, back to his standard. Brandon Garcia, for what it's worth, says he cares much more about the defense than he does the offense. But back to his standard, he's really had a great season. By any standard, he's had a great season, not just his standard. But Hollywood hit .348 as a first year last year. 29 walks, just 14 strikeouts, had the most runs scored on the team. This year, he's hitting just that coming into the game, .348. Showing the base hit bunt, maybe trying to keep Matt Arnold on his toes over there at third, perhaps trying to set up a running opportunity for O'Kelly McWilliams. Never know. It's a really good, maybe not old school baseball play, but maybe just a fundamental play. You show the bunt, get the defense moving around, then also steal. See if the defense has their I's dotted and T's crossed. That one was close. Caruso seemed to think it was a strike, but it's a 3-0 count now. Alex Caruso is the fourth pitcher Tigers have used. Lynchburg has used 4. It's a 4-pitch walk there for Brandon Garcia. So multi-hit game number 18 on hold at the moment. If you're Lynchburg, you would hope that Brandon Garcia doesn't get another at bat. Since we're in the bottom of the 8th, you hope your team doesn't need to hit in the 9th. I guess you could be pulling for a bat around situation if you're Lynchburg. That would certainly put the game out of reach, you would think. Hampden-Syndey down by 3, but Alex Caruso trying to keep his Tiger squad within striking distance for maybe a 9th inning rally. Breaking ball catches the outside edge of the plate. It's an 0-1 count on Ben Jones. Ben Jones is 2 for 3. He was intentionally walked with a 1-0 count in his last plate appearance. McWilliams bouncing off at second. Tigers maybe look like they wanted to run a pick play with the shortstop Masterson breaking in. Caruso went to the plate with the delivery instead. Now it's a 1-1 count. Normally you might call it a sacrifice bunt situation. Probably not with Ben Jones. I know he can bunt, but just not where his true talent lies with that power. Better off letting him swing away with runners on base than trying to move him up 90 feet. And that seems to have been the consensus throughout his career here at Lynchburg. 2-1 count. First baseman playing behind Brandon Garcia over there on the right side. Ben Jones wants this one. Sends it to right field for a base hit. O'Kelly McWilliams turn and burn time around third base. He's in easily, and it's an 8-4 Lynchburg lead now. 3 hits in the ball game for Ben Jones. Benny Baum's heating up, man. Another RBI for Ben Jones as well. Second on the team in that department behind Quinn Madden. Quinn Madden was in this spot, but it will be Eddie Gimble. Number 20, the senior, Eddie Gimble, will take the at-bat here from Quinn Madden. Looked like he might have just done something to the lower body. Perhaps just a strategic move from Coach Travis Beasley and his wonderful coaching staff. Ryan Long, another substitute, is on deck. Still nobody out here. It's an 8-4 ball game, and this is a tough spot for Alex Caruso because you've already leaked 1 run. Your team's already down. Sometimes it's hard to have that laser-like focus you need to get these outs. But you don't want the game to get out of hand if you're Hampden-Syndey, obviously. Corners are in for the Tigers in a first to third situation with nobody out. Called strike on Eddie Gimble. Stats on the year for Eddie Gimble. Game number 16 he's played in. He's hitting exactly .300. That's 6 for 20 coming into it. He's driven in 4. 1-1 delivery from Caruso. Gimble swings through a breaking ball, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Long has got some really good numbers on deck, especially for a guy who's really not starting every day, not even playing every day. Ryan Long's a great option to have, both defensively and offensively. Sam Rice and myself were marveling at Ryan Long's batting practice, where he seemed to be playing ping pong with the fence out there. He hit a few into the net. He got a few over to the other side. 1-2 from Caruso. Looks at a vacant second base, maybe just something in the routine there, and gets Eddie Gimbel to swing through another breaking ball. First out of the inning, it was single from McWilliams, walk from Garcia, RBI single from Ben Jones, and it will not be Ryan Long. It'll be Riley O'Donovan. Rockin' Riley back in the batter's box. Had a pinch hit double in game 1 against Shenandoah. Pinch hit 2 RBI double, in fact. Then he had another hit in game 2 against Shenandoah. So it actually ends up being a 6-game hitting streak for Riley O'Donovan. He's hit safely in 9 of his last 10. Averaged just under 500 in the last couple weeks for Riley O'Donovan. Batting with runners on first and third and 1 out. He'll take a called strike 1 from Alex Caruso. Caruso checking the wrist there, the pitch communication device. And now he's set and ready to go here. Garcia leading off at third. Riley O'Donovan. Airborne to the deep right field. Jake Moore will catch. Well deep enough to get Brandon Garcia home on a sacrifice fly, so it's an RBI for Riley O'Donovan. Lynchburg ups the lead. Another 2-run inning so far for Lynchburg. A reminder, the Hornets were scoreless in innings 1, 2, and 3. And then 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th for Lynchburg. 1 in the 7th, that was the last inning. And now another 2 spot on the board. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Poker Rock will take the off-speed pitch for strike 1. 9-4 score line. Options are in play now for Lynchburg if they would like to get Nathaniel Mack out of the game and save him. Low pitch. Ben Jones is going to go. Infielders broke late as well. Excellent base running there from Benny Bombs. He read that dirt ball. He read that pitch was coming in low. Clean pick from the catcher Butler, but the infielders were late reacting. And Ben Jones is in safely. In scoring position now for Sean Pokerot. 1-1 count with 2 outs. But back to the Lynchburg pitching, you got a little bit more freedom here as a coach if you want to save Nathaniel Mack for tomorrow or lighten the load. Maybe you've already decided that Mack's going to finish the game. You never know. Tomorrow is a non-conference game, but you could argue still very important, especially for a team like Lynchburg to try to build that resume. If you do not win the ODAC tournament, you might be looking for an at-large bid. And you can't necessarily just go on what you did last year. Sean Pokerot hits this one deep to right field, fielded on one bounce by Jake Moore. He'll throw directly into second, and Lynchburg has plated the 10th run of the ball game. Ben Jones comes home to score. It's 3 hits in the inning now for Lynchburg, and they really are starting to pile on in a 10-4 ball game. Gavin Collins got a base hit, his last at bat. Gavin Collins 1 for 4. And with each run, your options grow even more and more for Lynchburg. Could be a chance to potentially jumpstart a pitcher maybe you haven't used in a while, get them some work against what we know is a good Tiger club. And this Hampden-Syndey team right in this ball game really until this 3-run 8th inning. And of course, it's baseball. It's still not over. Teams score 6 and 7 runs in an inning all the time. And that's got to be your thought process if you're the Tigers. Swing and a miss from Gavin Collins. Looked like a high heater from Caruso. So the 8th is over, but the damage is done again by Lynchburg. 3 runs on 3 hits, and now the Hornets lead 10-4. We're heading to the top of the 9th. Don't miss the conclusion on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. All right, we've reached the top of the 9th inning here at Fox Field. Last chance to dance for Hampden-Syndey. You've got a good guy leading it off, though, the reigning ODAC Player of the Week, Jake Moore. He is 2 for 4, grounded out to second in his first 2 at-bats, and then he got heated up, an RBI single, and a homer off this scoreboard. And in a 10-4 ball game, you're looking for anything right here for Hampden-Syndey. Honestly, you know, it might be a motivator for Nathaniel Mack, who missed the zone with a fastball 1-0. I don't think Mack ever needs extra motivation. But sometimes when you're pitching with a cushion, you're looking for something to still give you that edge. And perhaps the fact that you're facing the reigning Player of the Week and a guy that just went yard, maybe that can give you a little bit more focus as a pitcher. It's a 1-1 count there as Moore fouls one off. Nathaniel Mack got a fly out and a strikeout in the first 2 batters he faced in the 8th inning. And remember, that was much closer then. Mack seems to always pitch well under pressure. Flared down the line, long run for Logan Webster, but he'll make the grab for the first out of the 9th inning. So Jake Moore's nice day has come to a conclusion, barring a big comeback from Hampden-Syndey. Here's Matt Arnold, singled in his first at bat. That was with 2 outs in the first inning. A sac fly since then, 2 ground outs to the left side. Once to the third baseman, once to the shortstop. This could be some real momentum for Lynchburg as a team. And remember, it's a quote-unquote revenge game here. Lynchburg lost on the road to Hampden-Syndey 3-2 about a month ago. Tigers are fighting for a spot in the ODAC tournament. Remember, top 8 gets in. The first round is a best 2 of 3 at the top 4 seeds. None of that is decided. Even I think, potentially, you know, if Randolph-Macon gets a win today at Virginia Wesleyan, they would lock up the regular season championship. Slap to the left side again. Brandon Garcia will handle a high hop. Arnold was booking it down the line, but they get him by half a step, maybe less than that, a quarter of a step there. A timely throw and on target from Brandon Garcia. Yeah, Randolph-Macon's 15-4 in the ODAC. Roanoke 13-6. I guess that doesn't actually completely lock it up with 2 weekend games. That's what I get for trying to look at the standings and get cute. Just go to the website, folks. You're probably better equipped to figure it out than I am. So much great information on the conference website, and, of course, so much great information on lynchburgsports.com. We invite you to check that out. Make sure you are following along with the social media destinations of your preference. 1-0 count. Mack facing Christian Lancaster. Check swing. Lancaster on the move. So is Gavin Collins. What a play by Gavin Collins to end the ball game. A run through to get Lancaster, was busting it out of the box and down the line, but Collins just in time over there, and that's how the ball game will end. Lynchburg wins it 10-4. 10 runs on 12 hits. Lynchburg leaves 8 on base, and they had that steady attack. The Hornets scored in every inning, 4 through 8, multiple runs in 4 of those 5 innings. Lynchburg gets win number 23 of the season. They move to 12-8 in conference play. Lynchburg has now won 5 of their last 7. Hampden-Syndey, they'll fall to 14-18 on the season. They're 8-12 in the ODAC, and this snaps a 3-game winning streak for the Tigers. Logan Webster with a 2-run home run for Lynchburg. It was 3 hits from Sean Pokerock, 3 hits from Ben Jones. Electric stuff on the mound from Nathaniel Mack. The other pitchers were good as well. Colin McGuire started. Austin Riney for 3 hitters. Then Logan Tapman 1 time and some change through the order. It all amounts to a really good win here for Lynchburg. 23rd of the season for the defending national champs, and we are back at it tomorrow. It's a 3:30 first pitch tomorrow as Lynchburg will host Mary Washington. As always, we hope you can join us at the ballpark or live here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Kyle Haney, I think I've done enough damage for today. Big thanks to our LHSN team, and thank you for watching. Lynchburg wins it 10-4. They beat Hampden-Syndey at Fox Field in Lynchburg.